Today, Jordan will be taking on the code. He will probably destroy it.
It's working this time.
You're in the stream now?
I just restarted OBS because I plugged my mic in after OBS started.
Are you alive in the stream?
Yeah. I have to see if I'm still only coming out of one ear though. I'm still only coming out of one ear though. That seems to be fine. Alright. I do not like wearing this headset in this way, but... Oh man. Kirad went offline like right before I sent a message.
You what?
One of the guys that wanted to show up.
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
It's funny because now he's missing out, and you could have been faster if you just had tried harder in typing class.
Die. Hold up. Where are my downloads? Super Glue, where are you?
Oh, the little bit of up got bigger.
What the frick?
Talking about a chart.
You're still looking at that, really?
It sounded suggestive. I'm not staring at it. Just have it open on a different monitor.
Of course.
I mean, I'm doing Blender on the main screen. I'm trying to make a bench. Why did I get a Twitter notification?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I
Add
just
image.
had the. Why?
Oops.
Does it ever do that for you? Where
What?
Twitter just has the red number 1 next to it, and you're like, "Oh, what happened?" And
Yeah.
then there's nothing.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it the best?
It's on like none of the accounts have a notification. I just got a red number 1. Like, something happened. You should come here. Like, really, I didn't get a notification, so I wonder what happened. And then it's just like, you open it and nothing's there, and then the one's gone. It's like, whoa, wowie.
That's great. That's literally the best thing ever. Jordan, I can't help but notice you're not in the stream.
What? Oh. I forgot that we started. It's chilly in my room. Oh, that looked like a very... This is gonna be a fun stream.
Oh boy.
Because it's playing an ad, but I saw what you were doing for like a second.
Literally, it will be flawless. It will be
Cool,
the best.
this is gonna get
morphine
people. This is
super
gonna
glue
like
ever.
lose us. This is gonna somehow lose follower.
No.
What'd you do?
I'm trying to spin, but it's not.
Just type R90. Because you're looking at it from the top-down view, it'll rotate on the top.
Ah.
Well, undo the rotation, or just do that. I mean, you can just type it on the keyboard, without going to that. If your cursor is in that window and you type R on the keyboard and type 90, it'll rotate 90 degrees. And since you were in top-down mode, it'll rotate on the top axis only. If you're in regular mode, it'll just rotate on all axes unless you specify X, Y, Z.
Is there a wireframe mode? How do I get to that?
Z.
Thank you.
Well, Z goes into... Wait. Does Z go into wireframe mode?
It looks pretty wireframe to me.
That's what I thought.
Oopsies. Oopsies. So I got this vertice on the end here. How do I...
You want them both?
Yeah.
You can push C and do like a little circular select and get them both. Or you can press B and do a box select. Well, what'd you do? Okay, you have everything selected, so... There you go.
We're making progress here. How do I do a cut to make more vertices?
It's gonna look kind of square when you look at it from the side.
Well, I'm just getting this side, then I'm gonna make it not suck from the other way, if that's a possibility.
Okay.
Actually, I don't... Should I be starting from a cylinder?
I don't know. I mean, are you gonna be able to make it so the square turns into a cylinder at the
I
end?
have no idea.
I probably would start as a square cube. And I would just add vertices to the end to make it smooth.
Yeah.
Although
Fuck.
you might find it tricky to make it work. Oh, that's fun.
Okay, so how do I do like a cut so I can add vertices on like these two sides now?
Control R is a loop cut, I think.
Ah.
You
Very
can.
nice,
Is
though.
it? Does it add a purple line that you can scroll?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got it. Wait, what was it again? I just did it.
It was Control R, and then you
Oh,
can
right.
scroll the mouse wheel up to add a bunch.
Oh, I see.
But don't add too many.
What's wrong with the lot?
I have to pull up a picture of a bench while I watch you. Ah!
Call now.
Well, it's a better idea to start with a few, because you get the general shape, and then you add
I
refinement.
was just making the jokes. I was just
Yeah, but I
meaning-
mean, don't add a lot. Don't add that many for sure. I get that was a joke, but don't add like 10 either, because it's a better idea to add like one to get the general shape, and then
Yeah.
add a couple. Get the refined shape. But, I
This
mean,
isn't so
it's
bad. Your
gonna be
job is
tiny.
easy.
It's gonna be kind of tiny, but you will, I guess, be close to it. So enough detail, but not too much. If you can make it look not horrible.
We shall see. Keep Jordaning. That's the idea, Jordan.
You're gonna have to just make it tiny and then make it come up and make it circle. Circle.
Yeah.
Circle.
So I have some concept art on my other computer.
Yeah, you could add a Discord button underneath the stream too.
Well, it's not public yet, but we're gonna do that.
Some people will have their Twitter handle as part of their little, stuff on the stream. So we've got like the stream chat and the little text and stuff. Some people put their like at Twitter on that too, but they also, a link to it is also helpful because people don't have to type it in themselves. But both, because some people don't scroll down and look, but if they see the at Twitter on the stream itself, they might. Or you can just go, look down there! How do we sound? Have you listened? I haven't listened. I'm not listening.
You're okay. I listened to myself for a second to make sure I wasn't coming out of one ear. And, you cut out less now, I think. So that's good.
Woohoo!
Okay, so I'm starting to deviate from this a little bit, from the background image, because I'm going off of a different image now, trying to copy how that looks. And
Nice.
so I need to separate this little top box into a different object. So there was the P thing, but how should I be selecting? Should I select all of those like that?
What's
It's
happening?
delayed.
What do you want to select?
Like, so I selected all of
select?
them. That thing needs to be its own
All of-
object. Because I'm going to actually make that part metal.
P.
Okay, but, like, is this selection, like, will it split it off correctly? By
Metals.
selection.
You've got
What the fuck?
8 vertices selected, and it'll separate that mesh.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that works. Well, this is fun.
Asterisk.
Asterisk, yes. Except when it isn't. We'll probably do the same thing as what we got here.
Brown Man said that he was going live 33 minutes ago. 30. Oh, he just went live. I was gonna say he said he was going live in 30 minutes. 33 minutes.
Duh.
Something's up, and then he just now.
I see.
I think he died.
Markiplier, are you dead?
That's like every Markiplier fan when his video hasn't been uploaded.
Yes.
Like the second that they look. I think he died.
Markiplier, rip.
Are you okay? You can talk to me, Markiplier.
You can talk to me, baby.
Please buy my game, Mark.
What did I just do? Just kidding. Don't do that.
Alright, back to game.
Yeah, Jordan.
Oh, why is it?
No, it's not. Oh, no. No, don't do that. Oh, please. Oh, undo. Super undo.
I just saw a bunch of loop cuts pop up for a second. I have to. Oh, it went down again.
It's funny, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, I think you know.
Oh, yes. How could I have missed that? Question mark.
Oops.
I like the one in this diagram better.
Ouch. There's no good way to put this. I'm trying to put the stream and concept art on the same monitor, but everything's overlapping and squished.
I'm using a whole nother computer all at the same time. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monitors right now, basically.
I don't have enough. I don't have the ability to use my other TV as a monitor, but I could maybe use the browser on my PS4. I think you can download the Twitch app on the PS4, and I could watch the stream from there.
That would be pretty rad. You should consider doing that in the future.
But then I'd have to like awkwardly look over. So the reason I don't use it is because like it's a weird angle where everything's slanted and weird.
Right.
Because I'm
my
like
TV
a foot away.
right now is totally like tilted at me because it's still not the most convenient monitor. Like I put everything that I need to see on other monitors, but like, yeah, but when someone comes over, then I tilt it back. Trying to find a good picture of these.
Why does it come out? Or part of it?
That's kind of what it looked like in the diagram. It has this little like notch to it.
Okay.
It's not really exactly like that, but I figure that would be significant in the geometry. It would look good, maybe. This is such a gross picture. It's like a guy injecting himself with this thing.
Gross.
And it's also really low resolution. Okay.
Yeah, neural network up-res.
That is the thing now, you know.
That's why. I mean, how accurate? How good are they?
They're pretty good.
There has to be some level of detail.
It depends on what it is.
It can't
but like for
up-res,
instance, they can up-res they can up-res like something that's like text that is to the point where it's unreadable. They can up-res it into something that actually is readable, which is really impressive.
But if you have like the Mona Lisa in 4x4 pixels, you can't up-res that to.
No, not really.
It's not quite enough detail there to know what's happening. If you only have 4x4 pixels.
No, but they're getting better at stuff like that.
Oh wow, it looks really good when you rotate.
I mean, but if you have literally 4 by 4 pixels, then there's no information. So I mean, you can't fault them for failing at that point.
You can just make the cap a cylinder to begin with. You can just make the cap a cylinder.
I'm not making a cap. This isn't actually super glue, Jordan. I just didn't want to look up a morphine tube on my computer.
Oh, okay. I just assumed they were similar.
They are similar, but the cap's not like... doesn't look like that.
No, of course.
I could make a cap for it, though, but I think I'll do that, like, second. I'm trying to see... Yeah, they literally look like a thing of lip gloss or something. It's a really, really basic cap. Because it's old, and you would expect it to be. Yeah, I'll make that after this part. I'm trying to see... Why do I keep closing that? I really need this. Oh, because it's in my way, that's why. I'm trying to see how long the actual needle is in comparison to the thing itself.
What is happening?
It's not as long as it. Close. A little shorter. That's probably actually about right.
What if I also made a morphine tube as you?
Please don't. That's the point.
And then
the point of me doing this is so that you can keep working on other stuff.
And then look at mine.
No, I'm sure yours would be better, don't get me wrong. But I think I can make it to a point where it's acceptable. We could just have that done. Unwrapping will be a bitch. I'm so sad that none of the people from our Discord actually decided to come over. But, like...
Probably... I mean, a lot of people just keep it open all day.
Yeah.
Not even desk.
It would be nice, kind of the idea is if you have, like... If you can get, like... Say you have, like, 10 people in your stream, and then you get one of them in your Discord...
I mean, like 3...
And then the likelihood of that one visiting next time is like 10% or something. Like, you know, like it's probably fairly low. But the idea is, you know, the more times we stream like this and the more people we add to the Discord, the more people there are that can... Like...
Oh, I know. I mean, every Discord channel I'm in is a streamer's Discord, except for the Discord channel I used to play games with people. Once in a blue moon.
Oops, what are you trying to do? I'm just hitting something wrong.
Don't you wish that we were like 10 years old again and we could do nothing? Play.
Jordan, that's what I was saying yesterday.
Yeah, but don't you wish?
Yes. Actually. wonder if it should be thinner than that. Oops,
Needles are crazy. I also would have just made that a cylinder to begin with.
You would have made this a cylinder to begin with.
I would have made the part that's actually a needle just as...
That's probably a good idea.
Like something that's like 5 or 6 vertices.
Yeah, I might just do that. I'm just
and
gonna
then
delete these vertices up here. And just do that. Assuming that's how that works. Yeah. Okay. How do I... Well, I need to taper part of this off, but like, how do I round off the...
How do you?
The thing.
You mean make it like a cylinder? Or what?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you would have to add a loop cut to the side.
Oh, and you just kind of do it by hand like that?
I mean, I get you could try.
Okay.
It's also really thick.
Yes, I'm fixing that.
You're in object mode.
I know. Oops.
You can use the proportional editing to make it look, affect the vertices around it too, instead of just those to move them in.
Do what?
Click on, where is it? Click on that little circle it's grayed out. A little bit to the right of object. On that little bar underneath the window you're in. It's like, look at edit mode on the little bar and then go really far to the right. There's a little grayed out circle farther. Go down. There's a little gray circle.
It's funny because it's delayed so terribly. What is it? Proportional editing and then what?
Then click it and then click connected or something.
Yeah.
Turn it on.
I did. It's just delayed, Jordan. I've already turned it on. Okay, now what?
Just, scale it in, and then it'll move the ones next to it to make it smooth, like a tube.
I see.
And then you can use the scroll wheel to affect the circular radius. It just makes it so you don't have to do each one time or something. Oh wow!
I mean, does that really is that helping? Kind of, I guess.
I mean, it's just better than having to move one at a time. You can still tweak them individually. I would have scrolled the wheel up more because now it's not moving them enough in.
I see. Okay. Yeah, now we're kind of getting somewhere. I still think I want these to be thinner.
The problem is you're like, this doesn't look how I want it to look. You just don't know what to do. And I'm like, I know what to do. But I would have already done it by now.
I know. You just do your job, Jordan.
I'm just trying to look over and do. I'm making 2 models at once. Just because, like, I'm telling you how to do it more or less. It's just like, you're doing it, but I'm explaining all the different.
Okay, so now we want to take all the vertices basically from like that line, not it'll update when it does. From like this line up, and like make them rounder. So I guess just do loop cuts and then pretend. Like I guess I'm a bit confused.
I mean, do it.
Yeah. Loop cut. Oh shit! It cuts all the way down.
Well, yeah.
It also doesn't cut over to that other object because it's a different object.
Well, yeah, you made it a separate object.
I should like undo that.
I mean, if you wanted to edit it, both at the same time, I would have separated it at the end.
Yeah, that would have been a better idea.
Because now, I mean, good luck lining them up. So that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
It's really not too late to join them back together, Cole. It is, because you've added, you're still moving. You've added all these loop cuts, so you'd have to...
Well, there was only 2. I can take them out right now.
I mean, you could add... They'd be in the same spot for the new object, because you haven't moved them.
Okay, so how do I merge them back together again?
Just click them both and press Control-J.
Excellent. Okay, I think I can handle it maybe from here until 4 seconds from now when I go, nah.
Select all the vertices in edit mode and press W, and then go to remove doubles. Because you have 4 extra vertices now on top of each other.
Oh. Wait, so do what now?
Select all the vertices by pressing A, and then press W. Select doubles. In edit mode. Did I say object mode? I meant edit. As in, you can see the vertices. I'm looking at... Okay, there you go.
Remove doubles there.
I think you have 4 on top of each other.
That would make sense. Okay,
did it say
so...
move?
Let me get rid of the lamp in the camera. And then, oh, actually, there's another cut there for some... What the fuck?
Where?
I
don't know what the problem is.
Wait. So, it was, when I removed doubles, it removed some of the lines there.
Oh, wow. Where were they?
Like, these ones that were separating... Only 2 of them that were, like, separating these things. Like, the loop cut didn't go all the way around anymore.
Huh?
Like
I'm not
this.
seeing what changed.
There. Just give it a second.
See, when you separated them, it made where they used to meet, it had to make 4 vertices for the new one. And so they were now still there on top of each other.
Yeah, but do you see how it looks right now? Like I'm missing 2 lines.
I don't see where the lines are. Okay, I mean, you wanted at the top? Go into edit mode.
Why am I pressing tab, but it's not going into edit mode? Do I need to have
that? You have to have your mouse in the window. Oh, well. You have to...
Oh, so maybe they're actually there? I guess the lines are actually there.
Sometimes wireframe mode is weird and doesn't show everything. But it usually does. I don't know what happens.
Okay. Good to know. Where was wireframe mode again? What do I push to just like see it solid?
Z key.
In what mode? Okay. We're getting somewhere now.
If you say so.
Shut up.
What?
The picture is behind when it's not supposed to be.
Your picture. Well, yeah, because you can change it to only be in front view. Click on all views and make it just front or whatever.
It's supposed to be. I'll find it. There, it's the right view, I guess. Oops, my camera refuses to change. There we go.
There's.
Am I selecting the faces as well? I guess.
I think technically there's a modifier that can do something basically like what you're doing, although if you get carried away, it'll add way too many vertices.
Do tell me what this is.
Well, you've already added loop cuts, so you'd have to do. It's called like the subdivision surface modifier or something. If you do one subdivision, it'll add one, and if you add two, it'll add one on top of that.
And it also rounds them off, which is the thing I'm kind of having trouble with as well. Subsurf, where are you?
I'm like, the reason is like, say you do one, it'll add one loop that's rounded off. If you do two, it'll add another one in between, so it's at effectively more than two. You know.
Yeah, I see.
That's my problem with it. That I don't like, because if you do two, it adds too many. If you do one, it's not really necessarily enough. So, like, ideally, if you done it, okay, you're in. It's harder to see in wireframe edit mode what's happening.
I can see it though.
So if you do one, it's like it's only adding one, and two probably. Two cuts would look better, but if you change it to two, it's not adding a total of two. It's adding another one in between. Adding a lot.
But I kind of only want it. I don't want it to apply to the bottom part. Is it possible to do that, or do I have to separate it into a separate object?
You'd have to separate.
Great. Would that mess up the materials? Probably.
Huh?
Would that mess up the materials, having them as separate objects like that? I would assume.
Only join them back together, and then unwrap them together in the end.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, here's my pran.
But like what I was saying was, if you don't want to do two, because I think that's way too many faces.
Yeah. I mean, it looked fine like it was. It was just the bottom part.
If you do one, it might look a little pokey. Because I'm saying like two. If you do two subdivisions, it's adding like a total of a lot more. Because it's adding like a new one in between all of them, including the one that's already there. So it's.
This might look.
If you could add two loop cuts to each side, I feel like that would be ideal.
Oh, let's That's hilarious.
Because it wouldn't look as pokey. So like, you'd have to
I'm gonna have to add some.
Snap the bottom ones to like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the best you can do. For what you're trying to do with like the.
These should be a little smaller too.
Kind of glad nobody's watching this. It's like that time we tweeted. It's like that time we tweeted something stupid and lost it.
When did that happen?
I don't know. I think. Oh, it was that like. It happened when we tweeted that picture of your face on the can.
What? Oh.
When we tweeted that picture of your face on all those cans of food.
Are you kidding? That was great. It's worth losing a follower for that. That was hilarious.
I don't think people. I don't know if anyone actually liked the tweet.
Oh, maybe not.
And I think we lost a follower. I mean, you don't have to add it to all of them. You can just add it to the top to, make it less faces.
What?
I mean, you added a loop cut going all the way down when.
I know, so that I can make the vertices match up.
I mean,
this is pretty like pokey looking right now, but I think we'll generate UVs in Unity. And
okay.
Yeah. Or generate normals, whatever.
I meant you could probably get away with just adding an extra vertices to the top one and not the bottom.
Well, I didn't even add extra vertices.
I mean, you did. You added a loop to the side when the side isn't going to be affected. Or is it?
Well, I need a vertice right here that's separate so that I can make these match up.
You could have selected two vertices and pressed W and go to subdivide.
I don't... Okay. And
it would have made it so that the instead of having a loop cut that runs all the way down,
I see.
There's just a new vertice in between. Unless you plan on smoothing it out at the bottom with that new loop cut, but it's going to be small, so you won't see much detail.
So...
just like select the vertices you want to add to W to subdivide. You have to select more than one. It subdivides the line in between the vertices. You only have one vertice selected. It's like I can't subdivide a vertice into two vertices.
Okay, I see.
Although I mean, you'd want to add 3 to that one.
Yeah.
You could have just changed the original.
Oh wait,
number.
You're right. Okay. Ah, just kidding. Okay, so how do I snap this vertice to the other vertice of the other object because it's a different object?
Remember where that gray button was? Go right to the right of it and click on the little magnet, and then go right of that and change it to vertex instead of face or volume or whatever it is by default.
What? Change it to what?
Click on the magnet and then change it to vertex. It's set to
not the vertex, but the thing by it.
Yeah, the magnet. You're there. You're in the snap setting.
Do I need to turn on the magnet, or is that something else?
Yeah. You turn the magnet off. Turn on the magnet.
Okay.
That's the snapping thing.
And then...
the magnet means it's on. Yes, and then you just snap it to the point you want it to snap to.
Ow.
It'll snap to the vertex, so you just drag it, move it to the vertex to it.
I see. We actually do need another cut, but it's got to be here, though.
Well, yeah. It needs to be on the back, too.
Yeah.
It needs to be on all sides. Yeah, you did it to the front. It needs to be on all sides.
Yes.
I mean, this will make it so, I think this works. I think this will.
Stick.
I mean, it might make unwrapping slightly annoying, but it makes it lower poly by like maybe 8 faces.
Yay! It's a fish.
It looks like someone's poop that they like squished at the end.
Jordan, you're terrible.
Yeah.
Get out of my country, Jordan.
Yeah. What?
Nothing. Okay, so now we merge those two back together.
You're gonna want to remove Dabbers.
To what?
Remove Dabbers.
Oops, that's moved to later. How do I merge? Is it Control M?
Control J. It's join, not merge.
It apply the subserve to the thing.
Should have applied it before you joined it.
I didn't realize that was an option.
Undo the join and then apply the modifier.
I got it. Excellent. Okay, now I'm going to split off this top part again. Go back to Jordan things before the inevitable moment when I need you again.
Oh, great.
Very, very shortly. Where did I decide to put this?
I mean, do you plan on having this material like just gray blob, or?
I don't know.
I mean, you don't want to put a label on it, do you? That would be really annoying.
It would be annoying. They do all have labels on them.
Sometimes you can just cheat and make select the area you want the label to be, select those faces, and duplicate them and make them like raise them up a little bit so they're not intersecting, and make them their own object. So you have two objects.
It really isn't like that.
Label instead of
that's
having.
Not how they like that would work on like a bottle, but like this isn't.
I mean, it would work on this too. Just you'd raise it up slightly so they weren't there, and you'd put the label on the other one.
Oops! What the?
Like you don't make a plane or a quad or whatever. You select those faces so they're already rounded, and then duplicate them and make it a new object, and then just move them out slightly. And then you've got a part where there can be.
Actually, I think I wanted. Nope. Wireframe? Question mark.
Why are you asking? Are you asking what the button is?
Yes.
Z.
Why?
I'm like, are you asking for permission? Are you asking my opinion on whether or not you should use it right now?
No, it's.
I was really confused. You're like, Jordan, do you think this would be the opportune moment? Is that a word?
I don't know.
Don't need it. Do you think this would be the right moment? I'll use good vocabulary to use wireframe. Yes, it is a word.
Great. I mean, great.
It means well chosen.
Well, yeah. It's a question of just whether it existed or not.
Oh, I thought it was a word. I just couldn't. I questioned my stupidity. How's it going, honey?
Don't call me that, Jordan.
It's funny. Because,
Only we even know
there's
what that's
Mr.
from. You
Incredible.
can't just say that.
Mr. Incredible said it. I was quoting him.
I know, but you still can't just say that. People get the wrong idea, Jordan.
Oh, it's okay if okay.
That's not
Sesame
how this
Street
works.
made a song
That's
about
not how
it.
this is.
Kermit the Frog saying, "If you were gay, that'd be okay.
Stop.
I like you," and
I want to die. So
it was really bad.
I'm trying to remember how to. Is it P? I got it. I did the thing.
Oh, now you can quit your job of coding and all.
Yeah. In fact, I will right now.
It's so you're like, I'm gonna start making things in Blender. Jordan, I need you to start writing the materials. Also, it'd be nice if you could start coding. You said that.
I have said that before, but like at the same time, it's like honestly, I feel like right now. What the frick? Does that just work out? Oh, I guess so. It just doesn't look right in wireframe mode. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Anyway.
Well, I mean, it's gonna look weird because you have a face with.
Yeah.
It's one face, so it's meant to be like flat, but you've got it doing other. It will look a little.
Yeah.
Although if it's tiny and unnoticeable, it's not a huge deal.
Okay. Now I need to plop a cylinder down while I'm at it.
But select the top face and select the vertices of where you want to put it, like in the top of that. And then you can press Shift S and do cursor to selected, so it's right where you want it to be. Or you could just take those. You could just take that and extrude it upward and make that the.
Yes. And I'm thinking I might also make this a different object just because. Oops. Try that a different way. I'm thinking I might make the needle a different object.
Press Z to extrude it straight up.
Press what to extrude it straight up?
Z to extrude on the Z axis. Well, press extrude first and then press E. Otherwise, or press Z. Otherwise, it'll just be like, oh, you want to go into wireframe.
Oh, I see. Something like that. Further than that. They're actually pretty long. In this picture, it's honestly longer than it. Then you have to do this fancy hoopla at the top. Oh. It's not a perfectly smooth edge, but that's okay. I don't know if that even worked the way I expected to. I'm about to find out.
Well, I don't need record.
It did, it's okay. So here I've got this object here now that has effectively back faces on it that I need to put faces
on. Press F. Select those vertices and press F to make a face. Doesn't have to go inside. It's too tiny. It doesn't have to actually be a hole. You're not gonna see that.
Huh?
I mean, you're not gonna be close enough to see that there's actually a hole, so you can just make it a flat face or something. You're selecting them one at a time.
So yeah, I know I could have done that differently. I didn't want to try to change.
You could have pressed Alt right click to select the ring all at once.
Oh, okay. So like, very nice. Now, so how do I like?
If you press F,
oops.
it'll make it one. It'll fill a face there. It might look a little wonky because it's.
Oh. Well, can I mean, like, oops.
I mean, do you want to scale it inward?
It technically is supposed to be, like. I mean, theoretically, you would actually want something like. That's terrible, but just bear with me here. You'd actually want something like that. Actually, I think that even works. It doesn't even need to go all the way down. You'll see it in a second.
I mean, what I was saying earlier is it's too small to see there's a hole.
That might be true, but I don't know. It would look really nice, though. Because otherwise, there would be an absence of space there. You'd see right through it, you know? I don't know. You might...
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. That is really freaking small. Unless you are going to pick it up and put it next to your eye, you aren't really going to be able to see that there's a. Yeah, I guess you're right. Alright, we'll just go ahead and leave it like that then. And I think I want to separate this into a separate object, just so it can be like extra shiny.
I was going to say you can press F to fill a face so that you don't see nothing when you look at it.
Okay. And then, what's that command to select a whole ring again?
Alt right click.
Not that ring, this ring.
I mean, make sure your cursor is... It selects the closest one, so you might accidentally end up selecting the wrong one.
Oh, my camera feels so screwed up now. My pivot point of my camera is messed up.
You can press Shift F to go into like a fly around. Or you can click a vertice and press the period/delete key to like fly to it. Or like zoom in on it. Yeah.
How do you do that?
If you select something like a vertice or a face or something, and then press the delete/period key on the numpad area, it'll like shoot the camera and zoom in on that. Shoot the camera.
Delete. Oh yes, that's the equivalent of the Unity press F to focus. That's good. That's always a useful thing.
F does a lot of other.
Okay, I need to clean this up a little bit. After I separate this. What? Are you serious? Maybe I just separated the top. Huh.
What you do?
Oh, nothing. Keyboard here.
Oh, according to this article not by Seeking Alpha, but on Seeking Alpha, Visa is still a buy. Just in case you were wondering if it wasn't.
Thank you, Jordan.
That article came to you courtesy of Quad 7 Capital.
Excuse me. Do I still have my super glue thing open?
See it badly. Your super glue's still there. I mean, unless you told it to go away.
I apparently told it to go away. No, not the one in Blender. I'm trying to kind of...
I mean, if you deleted the file, then you...
What? Why am I scaling from that point? Jordan, why am I scaling from the wrong point? Oh, I guess my cursor is up there. Why is it stuck?
You have it set to scale wherever the cursor is, instead of the median point.
How do I...
I don't even think it's that by default, so I'm confused why it's that. Oh, you did it by accident. So go to where it says object mode, and then go to the right, under like that on that bar.
Median
it looks
there
like
we go.
It looks like a crosshair.
I got it.
Then go click it, and then go to median.
I got it. You're behind, Jordan. I figured it out before you told me.
Okay.
Oh my god. Well, out of all the streams we've had, I don't think any of them have been quite this dead, and it makes me kind of wonder if the Unity...
I'm sure Unity is more popular than...
Yeah, because I switched this to Blender. Which makes me think the Unity community was actually the one that was so successful. Who wants to watch?
I would imagine people that watch 3D stuff is probably in like art community.
What?
I'm sure like how big is the Blender community? I wouldn't expect it to be that big.
I don't.
Did you look?
No. No, I thought it was very small, but like the Unity one was too, which confuses me a bit.
I almost downloaded the desktop version of Twitch on accident.
Oh no. Anything but that, Jordan.
There is a Blender community with 7 people watching.
Yay.
So that's what I was saying. Like, I don't think Blender is a very popular. I would have done like 3D something.
Right.
Although that is also tiny. I don't know what a good community.
You know, a while ago, I looked back at an old YouTube video that I never finished. It was an Ex Machina theory, and it was easily what would have been the best video I've ever made. But no one would have watched it.
So That's fun.
It's so fun. Okay. Now the really hard part.
What's the hard part?
How the frick do I unwrap this?
I don't know, it's your mess, not mine.
Am I allowed to do that thing where I unwrap from view? Or is that not okay because it goes on both sides?
I mean, I would not do that. If you want to look at it from ID in Unity.
I see. Right. Okay. Magic lazy unwrap mode?
Well, you should start by adding a
seam
UV image editor tab.
What button did I press to get this extra thing up that shows the tube in the background?
What?
Why is there these extra menus here taking up a lot of space? How do I get rid of them?
T and N for the on the left and press the T key and the N key with your mouse in the window.
I see.
So they wouldn't have been there if you had just gone UV image editor. They don't pop up there.
Oh.
Well, the N key does. I don't. Well, actually, they both do. They just do something different.
Okay. Do they halt? They don't have to be one object, though. No, that's fine. I don't know if these two will be different or not, but I'm going to keep them separated anyway.
There's a song about keeping them separated.
I've never heard of that one.
You know what it's called?
I have no idea. What is it called, Jordan? I bet it's called Keep Them Separated. This is just a guess. I have no idea. So, let's see. Okay, now what?
Let me wrap it.
What? Jordan.
You have to be in edit mode to unwrap it.
Okay.
Why don't you write an algorithm to unwrap?
Jordan, no. How
That might
unwrap?
You. The keyboard.
Unwrap.
It's gonna look really good.
Smart UV project. That's
Did
not
you
even too
remove
bad.
doubles when you joined those two things back?
What?
Did you remove doubles when you joined those two things back together?
Yes.
Because that might mess up the unwrapping. You didn't press W.
Which one was it that I rejoined? It was the bottom one. Just kidding. I have to be in it. Okay. I think we got that. Now, we do this. Honestly, the Smart UV project here is not too bad. You're not, using the entirety of the space, but...
Why don't you just go to the corner? Go to like the seam in the corner, where it goes from top to bottom.
Okay, how do I do
put
that?
a seam there? Put Well, select that edge. Press like Alt, right click on edge going from top to bottom. Okay. Well, you could do that one or the one.
Technically, doesn't go all the way. Oh.
I did the one next to it. It does go.
Ah.
Unlike the corner.
Yeah.
And then press Control E and do mark seam.
And do what?
Mark seam. Control E mark seam.
Okay, and then do I just
and then unwrap? It'll look kind of like. It'll look kind of weird, but it might work better than the smart one. Well, select the vertex.
This one's kind of.
Oh, to make it less stupid at the bottom, select the. I don't even know how to describe it. Go to the very bottom where it's kind of weird, and make it so. I guess 3 of the 4 edges have a seam. Make it so the 2 next to. See the very bottom face?
The very bottom face, yes. Like the one on the very bottom, or?
Yeah, select that face and then deselect the edge on the other side.
You mean the one down here?
Yeah, just select that face on the bottom.
How do I select just that?
Go to like face select at the bottom. You have it set to vertices select. There's like vertice, edge, and face select. Edit mode on that bar at the bottom. It's next to global.
It's next to global. I see. That's an edge. Okay, so I have this face here.
Well, now go to edge select.
Edge select.
Change it to edge select, and then deselect the edge opposite to where that little seam is. Like the tiny edge on the opposite side. Deselect that one. And then put a seam on those 3 edges. And I think that'll make it look a little bit better, maybe. Well, I meant like
I just reselected them.
Okay.
Why does that work?
I mean, it just will make it so it's less squished at the bottom, I think. I think it will. Try unwrapping it again.
Oh, boy. It's such
yeah, see? It works for,
yeah.
You can rotate it a little bit so it's not going at an. I mean, if you
that's what I was concerned about, because I want to put a label on it.
Oh, what I was saying earlier. Wherever you want the label to be, select those faces and duplicate them, and then pull them out slightly, and then make them a different object, and then you put like a PNG on that, and you can't tell it.
Would you prefer to do that, or should I just like rotate this so that it's?
I mean, you're gonna have to make an image that has whatever material we're gonna use, and then
we wouldn't use that for anything else, though. Like there isn't gonna be.
I mean, this way we don't have to make a material in GIMP that's both bind to one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this way we don't have to make a material in GIMP fitted specific.
We're going to have to put something on it anyway, so.
It's harder to do it that way.
Okay.
It's more work.
So I'm just gonna extrude.
Make one material.
The label goes all the way around it. Do you really want me to extrude all the way around?
I don't know what label you.
There's just text that just goes all around it.
I mean, you're not gonna see the backup. I thought.
Well, I don't know. You're kind of holding it. I have no idea.
Okay. I mean, it's easier to try to put text on this than put it on the whole thing.
To which one?
I mean, like, make it. It's easier to make one that's just for text than to try to have text line up on the whole thing.
So what are you saying? You're saying you want me to make another
it goes all the way around, I guess. Duplicate it. It's gonna be annoying to have it. It's gonna be difficult to have the text like show up. I mean, don't select the bottom part. Just select like.
We could just select.
So select like those 3 loops of face, but not the bottom.
There's 3 loops of.
Well,
I'm just doing random shit. I'm just poking stuff. So.
Go face select mode and select those 3.
And select which ones?
Well, I mean the 3 or 4 loops of faces you want to have the label. So however big the text is, select the faces it would go across.
That'll probably be like.
You're not in face select mode. You're in edge select mode.
Oops. So like. Oops. Come on now. We could just stick it on like one side if it's gonna be a problem.
Well, if you want it to go from like top to bottom on those faces or what?
Yeah, let's just do something like that.
Okay, then I guess duplicate them and pull them out on the red axis. A very
What's
tiny.
Duplicate? Is it like Shift D?
Yeah. And then press P to make it its own object. And then pull it on the like microscopically pull it out. Like zoom in to pull it out less.
Okay.
If you zoom in on it, you can it'll like move smaller increments.
Right.
You can press the focus button on like one face or something if you want.
Okay, so we got a separate thing now for the label.
And I mean, I think that, you know, it technically performs very small.
But it's this
less
so tiny.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good to do this on a bunch.
Think about the mansion's mere existence, and I think
then you can unwrap. See, the UV data for that is only tiny. So go back to it and just press U. Like select the faces for that label thing and just press. It'll make them a lot bigger and hopefully not rotated. But if they are, you can just like rotate it back to straight.
I mean, they're a little bit curved. I also think they're upside down.
You what?
I also think they're upside down, like oriented in here.
Then select them
all. Of course. Well, the label's just gonna go sideways. I don't know.
I mean, we could flip the text in Photoshop, but you can also move them so that they're not in the image editor.
This will probably be fine because either way we're gonna have to edit it in GIMP anyway. So
there's a way to sort of export where the edges are in the PNG or something, so you can see. No, I kind of forget how to do it. So you don't have to like guess where the image lines up or something.
Are we allowed to update stream data while we're on the stream?
I don't remember. It might be called live. I really forget. I've only done it like once or twice. Yeah. But there's a way to So like that's where the UVs are. But if you're in GIMP, you kind of have to guess where they are.
Right.
There's a way to sort of export like a PNG file of where the edges are, sort of, so you can kind of see where they are without. You can. I don't remember how. Let me see. I think I can do it today. Oh, so go to UVs and go like where in the image editor.
Yeah, I got it.
And then go to the top. It says export UV, and you can export it as a PNG file. And I think it'll do what we want it to. Just it'll go to your pictures by default. You can change it to wherever you want. Or I think it will anyway. But yeah, that's helpful for some things. Especially if you want to like I think it's helpful for if you want to like clone stamp paint stuff onto it.
Right.
And I don't know. It's useful for some things. I just rarely use it. Because usually I just unwrap it in Blender and we slap a texture on it and we.
Right.
But for things that have specific things, I like it can be helpful to do.
How do I add a seam again?
W. Select the edge you want to add the to. Try just pressing unwrap and see what happens for this. And then put like a material on it. It'll look stretched on one side.
Well, it might look... I don't know. What do you think of this?
It'll probably look stretched either at the top or the bottom, but just put a texture on it and see what happens. Go to image in the image editor. Because I've done this before for some things and it sometimes works.
Open image?
No, don't go to the image editor and click on the word image.
Yeah, and then do I hit open image?
Yeah. And then you should just be able to find like a path on your computer or wherever there's a good image.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if you can find one that's, I was gonna say if you can, you should find one that's by 1024. See how this image is wider, so the UVs are stretched.
Right.
Maybe you can go to your like wherever your Unity is stored, and just go into there. Find the assets in there. I don't know where your stuff is though.
Yeah.
Material. It should be under underscore material.
It is. What's or I looked at textures actually, but
well, I mean textures, underscore textures.
Are most of your textures square?
Yes. If it says .tiff, it is probably square. You'll be able to tell once you open it.
Some leather thing.
Well, these are our textures.
That's fine.
Go to like CG textures because that's probably.
I got something that works. So how do I view it?
Go into like the other window and press Alt. It's like the shortcut for
Alt what?
Texture mode.
Alt who?
Alt Z is in.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they're bigger around the top, but
I can't. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably fine.
Like I said, it works for some things. Specifically, it usually works for. If it's like metal, I don't think you'll be able to notice really.
Which it is.
It just some things need some things you can just do lazily and it looks good enough. It's not like it could be better, but like it could be, but some things you just can't see, and you just make a call where it's like I could spend a lot longer unwrapping it more efficiently and making it perfectly seamless and all this good stuff, or I could just do this because it looks almost the same from a distance, which is where I mean, unless literally the player is going to like inspect it right in front of their eye and like okay quality. It's
which
not
might
really
kind of be a thing, but I still don't know how close it'll really be. I might want it close enough that you can be like Morphine.
Is the needle that long?
Yeah, they can be pretty freaking
longer
long.
Than the tube.
Yes, sometimes.
Wow.
It's not because it's that long of a needle, it's because the tube itself is actually pretty small. That is terrible.
It looks like a tube of toothpaste. For exact precision toothpaste.
What's that seam thing again?
It's go to the back side where there is not a label and select the edge and do Control E. What happened? I got an email.
An emo.
Like select the edge on the exact opposite side of where the label is, so you don't see it on the front facing side.
Yeah, you're not even gonna see
even
this
even
anyway.
if you turn it and look at the back, it'll look a little more hidden if it's on the back side of it. I mean, it's on the side right now, I think.
Yeah, it's fine. It's so small that I just wanted to give it some data because it wasn't really unwrapping.
Ouch.
It's still not unwrapping. I don't understand.
I can't see what you're doing. You have to select it. Go to the top.
I mean, it's unwrapping, but it's...
I mean, go to the top.
Do you see that little orange line?
Yeah, I'm saying go to the top of the object, like the top cap thing. I mean, is it just that? Did you fill a face up there?
I guess not. Is that the problem?
I mean, I don't... Try going to mesh and then apply scale and rotation in object mode.
What?
I mean, not... It says mesh right now, but go out of object mode and it'll say object. And then go to apply scale and rotation. It might help things look tasty.
What?
Go into object mode and then it'll say object next to object mode.
Right.
It's a little button, and then if you click it, it'll pull up a giant menu of stuff and go to where it says apply, and then apply rotation and scale. It might make things better.
So that doesn't change anything about the actual mesh itself, except
No.
the UV related crap. Why does that work?
It might. I don't know if it'll fix your problem. Oh, you never put a seam in. There's no seam.
Shoot.
You would see a red line if there was a seam.
Oh, I got it. There we go. Okay.
If you wanted to, you could shrink the UVs down a little bit since it's really tiny.
Why?
Well, just because it doesn't need to have so much data displaying.
You still load... I think you still load all of that data in no matter what.
Even if it's tiled 80,000 times?
If it's tiled 80,000 times, you just... What? Like... All of the...
I mean, if you tile the image...
You have to load all of the data in the entire image. I think. I don't know.
I mean, what if your UVs are 100 times the size of the image? Then the image is tiled 100 times.
I don't know.
And it's not like... It's got the whole detail of the image tiled 100 times. So, I mean, the more pixels of the image you have displayed, the more it's rendered in real time.
If that's actually how it does it, if it doesn't just load the entire image in the graphics card, which I'm pretty sure it does.
I'm saying, if you have the image tiled 100 times, load the... Or?
No.
I mean, you're displaying more data of the image, though.
No, it just...
Like, you're displaying more pixels because the UVs take up more...
No, because it doesn't... I don't know, but I know that like if you can tile an image as much as you want, it's not going to slow anything down.
Okay, then just leave it like that, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be fine.
Then why don't we tile everything infinite amount?
What do you mean?
Nah, I don't know. I mean, something like gold would look better if there was, I think, because some of the gears, I think, could be big.
I'm saying, like, oh yeah, there's nothing stopping us from tiling it more except for the fact that it just looks bad when they like crash up against each other.
I don't mean 1,000 times, because then it actually just looks too tiny to see anything. I just mean, like, you can upscale.
No, there's nothing stopping us from, like, doing this stuff. Come on. Oh. What? Why is Let 'em Dare 40 hiding inside of the Horologist Legacy?
Probably because that's where you created the full.
Apparently so. You know what I didn't do? I never made a cap. I told you to like 4 times at like different times. Literally as you were unwrapping, I said, "Did you ever make a cap?" And you said, "Oh no, I didn't." And then you still did. Well, I was trying to figure out what I was even like doing.
So just press F to fill it, and then unwrap it by itself. Because if you unwrap it with the rest of it, it'll wonk.
What? The needle? It's unwrapped. They're all unwrapped independently now.
I mean, don't unwrap the top of the needle with the side of it, because then it'll just unwrap the top face by itself.
I don't know.
That you, I think, have not yet created.
Right. Okay, and then unwrap the top face by itself?
Yeah.
That seems a bit odd, but I guess that shouldn't be an issue.
I mean, if you unwrap it with the side ones, it'll look...
I suppose.
You can test it and undo it to see what...
It's probably... I'm sure it's fine. It's so tiny. Now...
I wouldn't leave it like that. You should actually unwrap it. It's stretched right.
You're not going to be able to see it. That's why we put a face there in the first place.
I mean, it's still a stretched face, though.
What?
The face on the UV thing is stretched. It's like a triangle. Look at it.
I'm saying you won't even be able to... The whole reason we even put a face there in the first place is because it's so small you won't even be able to see it.
I mean, you couldn't see a hole. I mean, you might be able to... Tiny. It's not worth doing.
Bleh. I'm just going to make the cap. But, I have to look at this again.
It'd be so small. I mean, I think it... I'm just saying, if you pressed unwrap, it would, I think, look different. Did you ever actually unwrap it, or is that just what it was?
Maybe not. Oh.
I don't think you ever actually unwrapped it. I think that was just what it was when you...
I watch it a little.
Okay, so that's not, that is now not stretched.
Okay. Anyway, okay, so
it's
how do
huge.
I make another?
The amount of texture that covers the entire length of the needle, that amount of data is also on the tip.
Yeah.
Did you get what I said?
Yes.
The same amount of image that is going to wrap.
I'll make it smaller. Just because of like how it's gonna look. But anyway, it's still again not gonna even see this in the first place. But how do I add in a cylinder? Preferably a double-sided cylinder. Well, actually, no.
I mean,
regular cylinder.
Select, I guess, the center of the needle or whatever, so it's lined up properly, and then
do cursor to selected.
How do I do that? Jordan, how do you cursor to select?
Oh, it's like Shift S cursor, but like make sure your cursor is where in the middle, and not just like off to the side or something.
That was.
Well, I mean, right, cursor to selected takes it to the selected. I meant like select the middle ring, so it goes straight into the middle. Right now, it's to the side because your origin point is not in the. Just select like
the whole ring. Is there even a vertex in there? I don't even think there is.
You have edge select on, Cole. You're selecting the edges.
I still don't think there's a vertex in there.
There's not. What are you saying?
Okay.
You're selecting the edge, and the middle of the edge is in the middle of the needle. There's no vertex there.
Well, maybe I can do that. That'll work.
I mean, you could have just pressed A to select everything.
Yeah, it would have worked the same.
But do cursor.
How do I add this thing?
So now go out of object mode so it makes a new object and doesn't orbit with. And then you do Shift A. Cylinder.
Perfect. So keep it just like that.
Are you gonna... Oh, it's too late now. I was gonna say you should lower the amount of vertices in the radius.
Oh, in the actual...
Less than 32. Once you scale it or anything like that, it's too late. You have to delete it and put a new... You can only change the amount of vertices. Touch it. This is the 32 part. You can make it a lot less.
Like 16.
That's still
maybe, okay.
That's still a lot for how small it is. I mean, consider that the capsule itself is 8, and this is smaller.
But it's supposed to be nice and shiny.
I'm saying the smaller it is, the less you need to make it look smooth. And this is gonna be thinner, or is it supposed to be the same?
It's about the same. It's slightly thinner.
Well, I mean, you still have it more, though.
What?
You have it as 12, and the tube itself is, I think, 8. My point is, if this is smaller, you would need less to make it smoother, and this you have it as more. It's like it's not gonna.
I'm gonna give it a couple more just because, like, I'll probably keep it at like 12 just because you might see it like around the top, and that part has to be.
I mean, imagine it in at the top and you would smooth off. I imagine that it like smooths off at the top, so you won't notice anyway.
No, it kind of doesn't. It just sort of. Yeah. Well, the kind I'm using is like a glass one. Actually, where's that little notch I drew? That's probably where this needs to be.
You could have just selected that notch you just referred to and extruded upward, and then made it its own object, so it lined up perfectly.
Well, I don't want it to line up perfectly because it doesn't look.
I'm saying now, look, see, because they're different amounts of vertices, they don't line up.
Yeah.
See, like, look where.
I see. That's why I moved it up more. Jordan, I don't think you're doing your own work.
Yeah, I am. It's just you ask questions if I don't.
I know.
So I might as well like look back every 2 seconds to answer the question.
Hopefully, I'll be able to.
I mean, you are the
little things like this.
This is a really weird concept.
What?
The artist is watching the programmer.
The programmer attempt to do art. Yes. And so is this guy that just joined. Hello. What happened?
I don't know what you do.
Oh, I see. I know what I did.
I looked away for a second.
Don't worry about it. I need to be in wireframe mode. I did that thing where you only select like half of them. The actual versions of these have this little hook thing in the top, but I don't understand what that's even supposed to be, so I'm not really comfortable putting it in there because I don't think I
hang it on a shelf.
Right.
It's like a hanger. You hang
That's
it on a
what
rack,
it is.
like your shirt.
Yes, actually. You got it.
Your dress pants, not your jeans. Those belong in a drawer like a civilized pair of pants.
Excuse me?
What? You're putting a lot of detail in for something kind of small.
Yeah, I'm trying to make something kind of around the top.
I mean, the top is small. I mean, don't put too much.
I know, but again, you might actually see this like closer than I was kind of thinking. Okay.
What's that little black thing off to the side?
I drew a squiggle by accident.
That's not real though.
No,
like if you export
it's
it,
not
that
real
won't.
Life. What is I am secretly a bimbot.fbx? It's just sitting here.
Why is it there, Cole? I didn't put it there.
I didn't put it there either, so... And it's an FBX, so up until this point, it could only have been from you.
Well, no, I probably named it, but you're the one that put it there.
Well, yeah, I'm sure I was the one that... Anyway. I'm sure it's something that has nothing to do with bimbots that you...
No. It's in the game somewhere.
Probably. Unless you named it that because you were convinced it might be broken, in which case it was.
Maybe.
Okay, so where do I throw this thing? Mr.
Did you wrap the cap?
No.
What material do you want the cap to be?
It'll just be glass.
Then you can do a smart unwrap.
Great.
Oh boy.
Actually, that's almost perfect. Like, that's awesome. Okay.
It's funny that they falls instead of.
It doesn't matter what I have selected when I hit export either.
By default, it exports everything unless you tell it not to.
Okay.
Except the squiggle.
Except, yeah. Great, I have to find it again. Oh. This is actually the one. I was about to put it in the wrong project.
Oh, are you going to export it straight to it?
Yeah, why not? It's on my computer.
I guess you can. I mean, if it gets deleted, then it's gone. That's the only back.
I suppose.
That's the only downside is it's only in the project. So if the project either ceases to exist or if it gets deleted from the project, there's no backup of it anymore.
So maybe I should make a folder. I don't wanna go on there and have lots of spoilers. I am gonna make a folder somewhere because 1, there's that, and 2, I don't want to like go in here and have lots of spoilers. Delicious spoilers. Maybe I can throw it on my other hard drive. Nah, let's just put it in here. Cole's terrible 3D modeling. I feel that is appropriate. Really, it sorted itself.
No argument there.
Alright. I'm gonna plop this into Unity real quick and then be a total liar because temporarily this stream will be Unity related.
Oh.
For just a minute. Where was that? So, documents. I don't want it to be on screen because spooky spoilers are everywhere.
Spooky spoilers.
Dang it. What? Import. Import. Alright, here we go.
Curse you, bond yields.
Excuse me? Is that see-through? Did I mess something up?
Curse you.
I think I got a face that's not working for me.
Where?
Yeah. Somehow that got turned inside out.
That's funny.
How do I check for that again so I can figure out which side it's on?
I mean, it'll look different. It should look darker. They look the same. Press N.
N?
Go into N. Go into edit mode and press N.
Okay. Oops.
Right, scroll down to where it says normals. There's 3 little buttons. Press the face one. You might not have to scroll down. It might already.
What?
It's slightly above the background option. It's like a little bit above it.
What?
Well, at the bottom it says background option. A little bit above that. Or background image. It says normals, and then there are like 3 little boxes. You want the one on the right. I saw your mouse go right by it.
I'm like, which
It's
one is it in?
Play. Oh, right now it's under shading, I think. Oh no, it's under mesh display, not display.
Oops. Which one was it?
Mesh display. And
No,
it
yeah,
says,
what was the thing?
the one on the right, the face.
I can't see anything.
Okay, there's a button that says normal, or like the text that says normal. You selected face M. That's not what I said. I said click the little like square under normal. That is
Oh.
like a depiction of a face.
I see.
There's vertice, edge, and face.
Okay. They're
So
both
now
look
there's a
the
little
same.
blue
I don't
line.
understand.
Interesting. Try applying the scale in rotation.
Seriously.
Because it looks like it's pointed the right way. So for some reason it exported not.
Do I have to be in object mode for that?
Yes. I I honestly don't know why, because it looks like it's facing the correct way. And that's the only thing I can think of.
This one over on this side looks shorter.
Okay, go into edit mode or object for wireframe and see where it's going.
It looks like it's going in on itself. Not you. Alexa was like, ah, not you.
In the English language, the word like has a very flexible range
I'm
of
pretty
uses,
sure it is.
ranging
That's so
from
great.
conventional to
Select
non-standard.
that face and press W and flip face.
What?
Select that face and press W if you think it's going inside.
Press W. Flip normals.
Yeah. Now, how does it look?
It doesn't look. It looks like it's going in on itself again.
Now it really is going in.
Now it really is going in on itself. I don't understand. Am I just maybe I need to throw a texture on this in Unity? But no, it does. It really has a hole in it.
Try exporting it again and see if the applying the scale fixed it.
Okay.
Like I've had this problem before, very rarely, where it's actually going the right way. I export. I also had a problem once where in Blender I couldn't delete an object. I couldn't even select it. It was just there. It was in the demo app. It was like the legs of a chair or something, which is stuck and existing. I could delete them in Blender, or in Unity, but not in Blender.
Where'd it go?
It might have to do with the fact that it's just stupid, but it shouldn't because other ones are also stupid.
It's still doing it.
Try. Alright, remodel it and see how it works. Just delete the face and then fill the face again.
Okay.
Unless that's the wrong face. Are you sure?
It looks like that would
one?
be it because it looks like all of the other ones. The little lines come directly out from their center, whereas this one's the only one that doesn't do that. So I would expect this one to be the one that's incorrect.
I mean, the other side, I thought just two. I thought the opposite face of that does too.
Oh, you're right.
Just figure out where the label is, and then which side it is.
What?
Which side of the label? It's
Oh, right.
I mean, in Unity,
I am.
see which
So
side.
it's to the right. I see. It is that one.
Okay. Try deleting it and then remaking it exist.
Yes, that.
The face. It's stupid. Teehee.
No. How did I get in?
How's it going over?
Not a clue. Try this one more time. I love how you do everything right, and then when you import it, it just breaks. Everything's wrong. Isn't that the best thing in the world?
Ouch.
It's still doing it.
Did you re-import it that fast?
Yeah, I already have all the stuff open.
I mean, did you delete it from the hierarchy and then re-put?
Yep.
If it's still doing it, try adding a vertex.
Doing what?
Try adding like an extra vertice to the underneath side of the yard and key, I guess.
Wait a minute. Did I just do that to the wrong side?
Did you?
I have no idea.
Do it to both. Why not? I mean, they're both identical. One of them is stupid and one of them's not. So why are you doing them one at a time? Every time I see someone do that. Like I used to watch tutorials a lot. I can't remember the last time I did though. But sometimes I watch tutorials where like the person looked like they had no idea what they were doing, except like this one thing.
One
they knew
thing
how to
that
make
they
them.
knew, yeah. Yeah.
And just like they wouldn't use any hotkeys, and sometimes like they'd be like, I saw one person in tutorials say they didn't know what the 3D cursor did.
What?
They didn't know what the 3D cursor did. And I was like, oh. How are you exporting it and re-importing it?
Because I have the folder open and Unity open.
So what I said to you, like the last thing I can think of is to like figure out which side it is that's messed up, and then add like an extra vertice and make it 2 phases instead of 1. Like there's a middle vertice on the top and not the bottom. Just add another vertice to the middle bottom.
How do I do that again? What's it called? What's the button?
Select the 2 vertices in the middle, then do subdivide, and then make it 2 phases. 1. Press W and then subdivide. And then fill in 2 faces instead of just 1.
Oh. You mean you want me to connect those two?
Yeah, connect the 2 on the top with the 2 on the bottom, and then do it for the other.
Do I have to do insert faces or something?
Well, no, you just press F to fill it.
Oh.
But, I mean, select enough to make it a face, not just a vertice. I mean, you have enough to fill an edge. Press the 2 on the left or the right.
Oh.
And then fill a whole face.
I see.
But do it for both sides. This is so great. Oh, someone. Hello. I'm trying to teach.
Oh, Gianno the Dweeb. Good to see you again. There hasn't been anybody in here all day. There's like one guy. And I'm trying to do art, and I'm not a 3D artist. And it's been hilarious, not gonna lie. I just feel like that's kind of what the project is coming down to. There's a lot of art left to do. And not a lot of programming for me to do. This is funny. It doesn't list him in the list of viewers, but it still says there are 3. And like, he just sent that message, right?
I just heard someone outside go.
I heard it too. Oh my god. He said, I saw on the Discord and went, oh shit, am I too late? No, not yet. Well, I was able to make this little morphine tube thing, but it took me like an hour. But like, and Jordan's been like mostly helping me, but a lot of it's getting more intuitive, I suppose. And And now I'm having trouble importing it into Unity. Well, not importing it, but like it.
I feel like if you did it to the right side, that maybe probably.
I think it should. So let's go ahead and unwrap again. Probably because there are new stuff.
I mean, you can select all the. It might have just kept. What are you doing?
What?
It might have already. Oh, it's gross.
Yeah. I mean, this is gross too, but it works.
I mean,
Much less stretchy and stupid. Okay.
dude, why are they up there?
I
That's so,
don't
like,
know. It's just.
Deselect all the faces real quick,
Okay.
so I can get a better look at the why they move. Are there doubles? Do you need to try removing them?
I don't know.
Try that.
Okay. Do I do that in object mode or edit mode?
Edit mode. Press all and go to W doubles. I don't think there are any, but I'm confused why it moved those two up there in the corner.
That didn't solve it. I don't know. But let's just try this and see if it actually works.
It's gonna be weird. You'll be able to tell that they're same there.
That's probably true.
I mean, it's 100. I mean, depending on the material. I mean, unless the material is a solid color.
Okay, so let me just on the other monitor for a second
So
import this thing and just see if.
Guys, there are problems happening where.
What?
There's just problems happen, and I feel like it's easier to troubleshoot if I'm actually the one. But I'm not, so it's I'm trying. It's harder to figure out what might be wrong.
Yeah. I can't believe it's still there. I don't even understand. Why don't... I guess, should I just...
Man, what if you're doing it to the wrong... Try exporting it as an OB. Try importing just the Blender file.
Sure, why not? Where is this thing saved? It's not saved anywhere.
No, you never said.
That's a new thing for me. That very rarely happens. Cole's terrible 3D modeling. No. Morphine tube. Dot blend. What? Was I pressing backspace instead? What just happened? Why does everyone want to ruin my day?
Oh, what's happening?
Nope, not that one.
What'd you do?
I got
Are you
it.
trying to figure out where to put it?
Everything is fine. Everything is under control. Let's find out if that works or is totally terrible. Oh, importing. Which one's the dot blend? I can't tell.
Well, it'll probably say it in the thing on the right.
Well, I guess this one's fixed. Except it's weird.
I don't know what that means.
So let me pull this on. So this one previously it just hasn't been there at all. Now I think we just have to fix the vertice. It's just off. We just have to add another one.
Another one bites the dot.
What? Am I seeing in there? Is this inside out? What's going on? Maybe they were both screwed up. What? Those are both backwards. Okay.
That's clearly flipped, I think. Maybe.
Yeah. Great. Great.
No, they look like they're both facing him.
Yeah, I think they are. So...
Try remaking the box.
Remake the whole thing from scratch.
So, was that the FBX or the...
That was the blend.
Try exporting it as an OBJ.
Will it have its independent like pieces in that way?
No, it won't.
It's kind of an issue.
Those are facing inward. It looks like.
Yeah, it does look like they're facing inward. Did I somehow fix the wrong one? That can't be. Because the label is on there, and the come here, Unity.
I said they look like they're facing the wrong way. Did you flip them?
Yeah. Oh my god. Wait, so. Okay, we're just gonna have to do the same fix on the other side, and then hopefully when we flip these, that'll work. And then we just need to replicate the same fix on the other side. Yeah.
Fixed.
That would be my guess. So, what do I need to do? I like select these faces again, and then oops, not that face. Leave that alone.
I'm still confused why those two to the other.
I have no idea.
Or like to the top.
How do I flip these faces, Jordan?
Just run into problems.
Jordan.
You're running into problems I've never had. Delete the faces, I guess.
Now, how do you flip them?
Oh, press W and then flip invert faces or something like that.
Insert? Inset
no, it's
faces.
Invert, not insert. It's called flip faces, not invert.
Where is flip faces? There's a flip normals, but there's no.
It's called flip normals. I'm not looking at it. I'm just doing it from memory.
I see.
I'm saying it from memory.
So now we're gonna do the same thing we did over here.
That's so
we're
great.
Gonna.
What? You could try.
What was the thing we did here? We did like a.
Deleted the face and then.
We made a.
Subdivide and then made two.
Right.
This is... Maybe you're just... I wonder if things are, like, stupid because you're using a really old...
Oh. That is a possibility.
If you're using the version you've had, there's a much new, better optimized stuff.
We'll have to do that. But I think we, for now...
Let's say you're running on the top.
Theoretically have fixed this.
It doesn't.
Splash screen, it's 2.73. It's a 2015 version.
Awesome.
Excellent.
I'm using 2.79, which is I think also an outdated. Or I'm
not nearly as outdated.
I mean, it's 2 years outdated. They don't change the number every time. They change side stuff. I think it was like.
Oops! Did I just? There we go. No, that's Blender. Get out.
I got Blender on 9/11, 2017.
Did you really?
Well, I got this version.
I see why you named things like Real One this time. Because now I don't know what anything is. I literally just had to import another one that I just renamed to Real One.
Oh no. I think I went to a fake website.
Oh no.
I misspelled Blender and it took me to one of those baloney web. I'm like, that's not right.
Welcome to Blender.
No, it's one of those things where it's like the only thing is like add middle or something. Or like links to other websites that are also fake.
I think
He's trying to make sort of like a old morphine tube kind of thing.
Yeah.
And,
like a World War II kind of era morphine thing that they would give to soldiers. And
So 2.79 is still the current version of Blender, but I'm sure there's been small patches since then. Yeah, the one you have is definitely outdated, though.
yeah. Let's do a fancy thing and calculate normals.
I wonder if that's why.
Yes.
Remember, was it your house and
Perfect. That's okay.
sort of doing the same thing we're doing now, and something wasn't working? And like, I've done this a million times. Why is it? I wonder if it's just because
It
was
really
not
could
fun.
be this version of Blender making some dumb decisions under the hood.
Did that fix it, by the way?
Yes, we got it.
I mean, it depends on which version of Glass you want to use. Like,
I don't know.
the old version of Glass doesn't use the UVs at all, really. The new one does. The more detailed Glass does.
You mean the one with the...
Well, the old version doesn't have any, like, map or anything that goes on it.
Oh.
The new one has a normal map that gives it that deep. So it has to use...
I just want it to be, like, a clean, like, non-normal mapped one, probably. Metal? What kind of metal should we throw in this? Not that. Well, maybe. It's not terrible. Where is that seam? Oops. That looks good. Maybe. It's that or that. Although I don't know how I feel about that.
What?
Oh, no, I'm just messing around with materials. Don't I have that one, like... That's... Yes. It's like a...
Made it.
Oops.
What is that? That's like weird
What is this?
material.
Oh,
what?
Don't do that. There was this one material I have that's like from an asset pack that's super like aggressive because it's like a nice, like it's literally a cube map of a room. I thought that was it, but apparently not. I know where we used it though. I can go find it. Wink. It's called Broken Mirror because I used it a very long time ago to make a broken mirror.
Why did the morphine turn into a truck?
Yes. Surprise, the morphine is a transformer and also is a truck. Oh, look who it is. You didn't see anything.
Oh no. What's in there?
I'm just gonna let you wonder.
I mean, I can go open it.
Oh, I mean, you could, but... Oops, this won't be it.
I just would have to hold on for 8 before I can...
True.
Which means it's not worth doing.
Probably not for that, but maybe for this. It really depends on the lighting. should have brought out the light first. Oops. Yeah. A little darker like that. Okay. Alright, let me look at my laptop real quick, figure out what color this should be. They're kind of these weird colors. I like this color actually. I think I'm gonna try to imitate that. Maybe. New stuff. Materials. I'm gonna make an unsorted folder for materials because this is a specific. Or do we usually store the materials with it when we do that? I think that's what we do actually.
Huh? No, the materials go in the materials.
Fine.
I'm confused what you're trying to do. Oops, I made a clip on accident.
How do you make a clip?
I meant to maximize it, and I made. I'm gonna just casually. delete
Clip. How long is it? So when you press clip, does it just take a sample of the last however many seconds?
Yes.
However, how many is it? Do you get to pick?
I think it's 60, but it's a maximum of 60, but it makes less. I've only done clips on accident, pretty much.
Maybe that's what.
But I think you can be a maximum
was doing last time. I know Giano. I'm always how do I pronounce it? I know he made a clip. He was the one that made a clip of the. Do you think he knows he's still in the chat?
I am deleting a clip created 1 minute ago by me.
We got one more. Hello, other person who doesn't have an account, and another one.
I successfully deleted the.
The what?
I successfully deleted the oopsies clip.
What was that? What was the thing, Jordan?
I just made a clip of you.
Oh.
Doing nothing.
I forgot my memory is 2 seconds long.
Ah.
You are working in Blender after all. You can't really fault me for thinking that it was something. Okay, I have to get this really weird color here. That's a really strange color. It's like that, but that's too bright.
Oops.
Oh, don't do that. Jeez. Oh, that's the label. I was wondering why it was looking so weird.
Yay.
Yeah, I thought that was too strong.
It looks very material.
Great vocabulary, Jordan.
I mean, do you want to make it like that, where it's just a shiny green or something, or do you want to actually?
I'm trying to mimic its like actual color. We still have the label to put something on.
I mean, there's not really a huge point in unwrapping it if you're gonna make it a material like that.
I suppose. I might put a normal map on it though, because a lot of these little tubes are like, they kind of have this sort of like, I don't know. They have this weird reflectivity to them. Where's the mud thing?
It's just search mud. It's called like stylized mud or something.
Stylized mud as opposed to unstylized mud. It is stylized mud. Wow. Jordan. This mud is stylized as opposed to mud that isn't. That's so funny to me.
Wow. Why do you do that? Why do you just make them different numbers?
Because kill me.
If you look at all the old materials, you pile things you're like 9 to.
Jeez, this really.
Because it's just stretched otherwise. Did you apply it to the label too?
Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's on the label, and I'm not sure if I really want it to be like that. But like, look at the way that this like reflects light. Like that is what I was going for.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good stuff. The label's gonna need something different though, because it looks wrong.
I mean, the label is meant to be like whatever the label is with a transparent, so that you can still see it. Like unless
right.
it goes.
That would actually, yeah, that would make the most sense. So it would just look like. No, don't.
Unless you want it to be a square, like square label.
Although the frickin' seam is there.
I mean, if it's a transparent thing, then there won't be a seam.
No, on the morphine thing, we put it on the wrong side.
I mean, so you put the seam on.
Yes, I was under the impression. That's where you told me to put it, so I didn't realize that it was in the wrong place until after. Yeah, anyway.
You could flip the label on the other side.
Yeah, I could probably do that.
Or you could just rotate the middle piece 180 degrees and it would be probably the same. Unless the origin point isn't in the middle.
It looks like it is, so that's what I'm gonna try. Damn it, changing the values directly never works. I don't know why it does it differently. I was talking to my teacher about these sorts of things in Unity, and he's just like, yeah, I've worked with Unity for a while, and basically there's so many things about Unity that basically have absolutely no rhyme or reason to them whatsoever. They are just completely random, you know? And it's just... Did you know that all the rotational functions in Unity in the code, half of them... They're all in degrees now, but it used to be half of them were in degrees and the other half were in radians. And it's just like, what the... Why? Like, which one do we use? And it was just a toss-up for each one. Like, it could be either. And you would have to... If you wanted to use those different functions back to back, then you had to... effectively you would have to see. I was good for adding that little thing on the top. It looks nice, but like yeah, if you wanted to do like use all those different rotational things with each other, then the way that worked was you would have to convert back and forth between radians to degrees to radians to degrees, because they were all completely random. It's like completely anti-human. Machines build games in the future. If I can get the light to reflect off of this just right, I actually think it's gonna look really good. It's gotta be kind of right on it, though. It was something about the angle, I feel like. Like, that angle is great, but it's only when you get it at that angle. Although that's kind of how it's gonna be held. Yes. I'm actually decently satisfied with this stupid thing. It took me so long to make this. Should I just, like, close up this version of Blender and, like, replace it with a new one right now?
Yeah, you can do it after the stream.
This is true, I could. I was thinking if I was going to try to move on and model another thing, which I think I am, which is not as complex as this, and I should theoretically be able to do on my own.
Why don't you do me a solid and model the... That'll really save me some...
Do what?
Model all the humanoids. That'll really help the game come along and save me some...
I would, yeah, it probably would. They would look like, this, however.
Would it look like Garbo Man?
Garbo Man. Just hold on, this is gonna be great.
What's happening?
I'm making Garbo Man.
Garbo Man doesn't have a head like that.
Shut up.
Garbo Man's a trash...
I'm making a humanoid, that's what you asked me for.
Why does he look like that?
Shut up.
Alright. It's just a giant claw. It's the Reaper.
No, it's his hand. He's just...
So
he's just got
it's
big
a claw.
bones.
Wow. Too bad he's... black.
Except for all of the other places. He just doesn't have bones in all the other places.
He looks like the Reaper. Or I think it's called the Reaper. Different here.
Yes, that's what they're called.
That's literally the worst thing in the whole game. Worse than the Black Titan, the flaming Black Titan.
Please, no.
Just because his arm has such a big reach.
They do, I know. It's really embarrassing to go back into one of those zones after you've, like, been in, like, lived in the black zone for a year, and then go back into, like, whatever it is, the yellow zone, and just get whacked by one of those, and it's like, god damn.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never been whacked.
Oh, sure. I shouldn't. I'm not gonna save this. I saved it before I drew this piece of junk. Oh, wait. I can erase. Great.
Yes.
I remember drawing with that and then not knowing how to erase. I
You can
feel
also
like
just
you did
delete
it
the
too.
whole layer. You can just delete the grease pen.
Ah.
That original squiggle.
Alright, let's do something much simpler.
Move on to modeling.
Let me just completely reset Blender here. I don't know, how long would it take to download a new Blender? Because I don't want to make something and then have it run into that same problem again. Like, that's...
Minutes?
It probably wouldn't take very long.
It would take minutes.
Blender. Start timing me right now.
It's funny, like, I don't know if it's like you opening a new window or something, but every now and then it looks like the stream chat square turns into your background for a second.
What? It does.
It's when I think you're opening a new Chrome window or something.
It's whenever I do Alt-Tab, I think.
Oh, of course.
Oh, better get blender swag. Speaking of which, what is the blender swag? Do tell me.
It looks like it's merchandise, like shirt.
Well, yes, that's what I know. What that means.
I don't know. What do you? It's just.
I just want to
Blender,
see what they have and see if anything is. See how terrible it is. See if it's anything that I would want to ever buy for anyone ever.
Where? Buy it from
Blender
me.
sew on patch, only $8.50. What is this, Redbubble? What's going on?
How much does it take to get that Unity cube? Or the default Blender cube?
$26.
It's the same cube. It's the same cube. It's how many?
Only $26.
That's a bigger ripoff than
That is a bigger ripoff than Redbubble.
It would cost like $21 on Redbubble.
That's insane. Guys, come on.
It's insane because it's just a...
Stickers, $5.
Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. I want to see if.
You're trying to find one on Redbubble.
Seeing if there is one. It probably isn't. There is not the exact same one. There is a 3D cube with the Blender 3-axis thing. The blue, green, and yellow or red arrows.
For how much?
1950.
Why can't we get one of the leftover ones from like a Blender concert?
Hang on.
That's only like $1. Oops, is this the old one? No, this is the new one. What version did you say you have?
I have 2.9.
I have 2.79 and I just downloaded this.
You said you had 2.73, I thought.
But you don't have...
I have Blender 2.79. Got it.
Oh.
2017 9/11.
That's what this one says. That doesn't mean that you got it then. I think that's when, it was exported, like, or released or whatever.
Okay. You said yours was from 2015.
It was originally, so
So you have the new one now.
I wanted to
Mine
see that
says-
the number changed, because if it didn't, then, like...
10:43, the time next to 9/11. Hash 5B, then some other stuff. So what was the picture of before when you opened? Because it's going to be different now.
Oh, it's a guy with a freaking...
Yeah.
You know what's funny? There was a thing on the news yesterday about hairdryer catches on fire and shoots flames. Oh, no. That was it. That was the whole news story. Like, you basically could have summed it up with that. Like, literally my voice going, "There's a hairdryer, fire! Oh, no!" Like, that would have been it. Jordan, did you stop watching the stream? Why does it say that Jenna
I stopped
dweeb?
watching it. I stopped watching it because I was in Redbubble. If you go to a new tab, that number goes away.
Oh. I was gonna say, like, the number went down, but you still in the chat, so I was like, what?
No, the number went down because I was in the chat, but window wasn't displayed on my computer.
Cool. Alright, so...
I like temporarily
probably gonna make,
close,
like, a...
or, like, minimize it. But I sent you a text.
Oh, I see.
Shirt.
You have sent me something.
I sent you the Redbubble shirt. That's the closest thing I could find. $7 left.
We should make stuff like this.
Yeah, let's just take the Blender cube and make a shirt.
I'm still totally in favor of like making like a couple of
The exact
things
same
that like
shirt.
game developers might want to purchase.
The exact same shirt that Blender is selling, only will charge $21 instead of.
We probably shouldn't do that.
We'll charge $25.99.
$99.99.
Oh.
Yes. Hey, for all you know, that's like portions of a cent in Bitcoin, right?
Oh man, so much these days.
What was I gonna? So, Mr. Man Guy has to have like a flask, probably either a flask or like a. I would imagine he would carry around a flask, not a lab flask, you noob. There we go. 128-ounce, extremely large flask, engravable. That's the literal, like...
It's huge!
Okay, what would they use in, like, World War II?
The Achievement Hunter Flask, what is that? It's very similar to their logo, Circle Star. Only theirs has a little tiny old-fashioned game in it.
Yes.
Star one again.
That's not a flask. There's all the time you get these silly images for the thing you looked for, and it's just like, that's not even close.
Although...
She's really proud of that shirt, too. Oh, hey, probably better not show that.
What'd you find?
It's so weird watching it like delayed like that.
I mean, all the ones in like the World War II things that I've seen looked like that one with the star on it, only minus the star.
Oh, like
they were
this
stainless
Call of
steel
Duty World
and,
War
like,
II one. Like, seriously?
They were like, they're like curved sort of, only they don't have that star. And they looked more like worn because they were worn.
Right. I feel like this is a little more convincing.
Oh, get that one with the Nazi flag.
What?
Nothing.
Yeah, no. Shut up.
See, they're kind of curved like that. That's gives you a better angle.
Yeah.
The other one. Only that one has leather on.
We don't have to put leather on ours. It would be nice, though. Right.
I've never seen a flask with leather before, but I guess it.
Okay,
maybe
yeah.
it prevents. Maybe it prevents your hand
from
being
literally
flat.
freezing off. Yeah.
Although, who keeps their flask chilled anyway? It's the whole point is like it's in your pocket, right?
I don't know.
The whole point of a flask is that you just have it on you like, oh, I'm just in the mall, or like, oh, it's 1940 and I'm just in the.
Well, in which case, how is he gonna? Spoiler alert. How is he gonna like?
I mean, the whole like a
be
flask
in the
is,
other
I
room.
think, the whole point of a flask is like you keep it on you, on your person at all times.
In
And
which
it's
case,
just, like,
we
it's not
can't
like
use
having a
that
drink.
because it's something he has to put down.
Because I mean, if you're just in a place where you can have a glass that you pour, then you would have a glass that you pour, I would imagine.
Well, it would still be something he would walk around with, though. I don't know. We could arguably.
I mean, I'm not an alcoholic, nor do I own a flask, but
What the
I believe
frick?
I believe the purpose of them is you keep it in like your coat pocket or something.
What am I looking at? It's a booby-trapped piece of candy. It's like a booby-trapped chocolate bar.
It looks like something out of the Cold War, where they would keep film reels inside.
No, it's like a bomb or something.
Oh, but I see it says it's a trap, but it looks like something where like you take pictures and then hide the film reel inside a fake chocolate, and then you leave a dead drop for someone to pick up later. But then a child comes by and eats it anyway.
It's not even close, man. But like, okay, like this is a decent, like, I can use this picture, I guess, as like kind of concept art, sort of, but like not put the leather on, probably. Blender swag. Okay. I feel like I could do this by just taking a cylinder and like stretching it out on one side and then adding some vertices. I think would be the best way to approach this. Yeah. Although this is probably too many vertices.
If you stretch a cylinder on the it's gonna be kind of obviously stretched though.
I'll add vertices because it'll have to curve.
I mean, I think you'd be better off trying to find one from the top view and just lining them up.
That's a good idea. How the heck am I gonna find a top view of a flash? Though?
Well, top enough view.
Flask top view. I got nothing.
Alright, so just Google flask
Just
and see if
flask.
you find one. Find one from an angle that is up-ish. Oh, here's a cow chop flask.
There's a Trump flask.
Those are the people Rooster Teeth told me to buy stuff. So you might try to find a flask that shows the top-ish angle and then put it next to, like, put it in the background and then just look at it and try to mimic it. I don't think you'll be able to find one perfectly from the top. I don't know, go buy one right now and then just look at it, take a picture of it.
This makes so much sense, this picture. You'll see it in a second.
What happened?
It's a doozy.
Oh.
Like, why?
That's pretty great. Alright, I think we're getting more abstract. Oh, yeah. That might be the best one I've seen. Or what's that one on the far left? That doesn't quite look right.
No, that's something else. It's like a techno flask.
Techno? You mean like... That's like a beaker type
Flasks
thing
for men as opposed to flasks for women? Like, are they that particular?
A flask
This
is a
is
flask.
a woman's flask. Like, what? Like,
This is Shorty Show.
are you trying to make a song out of this?
I was missing SpongeBob.
We have a strict, like, rules against just random musical numbers, Jordan.
So it's not perfectly top view. So what I would say is put it in...
Honestly, the one I have right now is a bottom view, and they're the same on the top and bottom.
Yeah.
So,
Like put it like right below. It's not perfectly top at an angle.
Huh? No,
It's
they're
like so
both
it's at an angle.
but this is still more of
So
like
put it like next to it, but not right on top of it, and just sort of mimic it since you can't line it up perfectly since it's not top view. Put it next to it and just sort of like. Also, I would start with a plane and just add vertices as you go instead of starting with a cylinder.
Really? But these rounded edges
just start with a
just
plane.
make so much
and
more
do
sense
subdivision.
to just like stretch the thing from here to here, and then just add your vertices and then curve them. If you can curve them all at once.
Easier to start from little and work your way up. It's less to work with when you start with a few and then just add a couple here and there when you need to.
I'm confused as to what you mean by start with a
I'm
what?
saying, like, with a plane and just make it go the length across, and then add vertices as you, and then curve those instead of starting with a cylinder and stretching. It's easier to start with less and work your way up than start with too much.
I fail to see how you wouldn't do literally the same thing with a cylinder.
Then do it with a cylinder then. I think it'd be
The
easier.
biggest thing I'm gonna have a problem with either way is trying to.
You're gonna end up with the faces in the middle, or stretch the faces.
Do what?
I mean, you're gonna end up having just stretch it on the side. You're gonna have it. It's gonna end up being that the faces that are pulled are really stretched compared to the faces on the other side that aren't being pulled.
Yeah, but you add vertices to it. And this.
I mean, that's fine too. I just if you think that's enough or not too many for the well, why'd you do that?
What?
Did you pull it like that?
At the angle like that, or what?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
specifically because it's got a curve, and the way they're kind of lined up.
Curves in the middle and then goes back. They're symmetrical.
I didn't grab it symmetrically.
No, I'm saying a flask is symmetrical, middle and back to where it was on the other
It
side.
keeps cutting you off. I don't know what you're saying.
A flask is symmetrical. It curves outward in the middle and then comes back on the same on both sides.
Right.
And you just pulled the side down, though. It doesn't. I'm saying both sides line up. Like, you shouldn't have pulled it down like. To pull it on the y-axis, and don't move it on the x. That's. If you're confused which one's which, it says in the bottom left corner.
I think we almost need to duplicate this right here because it's not even. You see what I'm saying when I say it's not even? It's.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's not even.
You can, but what you can do is you can unselect. Oops.
Press Y and just drag it.
Do what?
Press Y and then drag it on the y-axis. Well, don't.
Well, yeah, but
No, I'm saying press Y. It'll separate it.
Oh.
But keep it.
Press Y.
And then you just fill the
And then
faces
click or something. What?
Pull it on the y-axis.
What the fuck? I don't understand.
Oh, what'd you do?
I press Y, Jordan.
I'm confused.
Yeah, that's what happens when I press Y.
Oh, you didn't get the top part.
What do you mean?
See? It's working the way it's supposed to. You just didn't get the top for some reason. You have two sets of vertices now.
Do I need the faces or something on top, or what?
I mean, eventually there needs to be faces on top. You can just delete them for now since they aren't grouped with it for some reason. I'm saying, I was saying pull it like you were doing. I'm confused why it didn't. Oh, I know why. Never mind. Just delete the faces on the top of it, since you don't need them right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Oopsies, I'm home. Although
I don't know why you get getting cut out so bad all of a sudden.
Yeah. Or you got one too many on one side. Not enough.
So I guess that works, but I'm gonna have to put them back together.
Yeah, you just press F to fill those.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look at my concept art and see. Not you. Where did it all go? There. I'm trying to see how far apart these things are. Or maybe that far apart or something. those might be facing the wrong way. I'm not pushing... Oh.
Don't press the Alt button, press Shift.
I was pressing Control is what I was doing.
Oh.
Which works
Also...
until it doesn't.
Shift shouldn't do that. That's the Alt button selects a ring like that. Holding Control will like select other objects in edit mode, which is weird, and I don't see a use for it.
I'm definitely gonna have to check these faces and see if they're... Nope.
Boop.
Oh, that looks good. Yes. No. I have to figure out how to flip to subdivide this thing.
Do the loop cut middle.
How do you do a loop cut again?
It's like Control R, but it might not go all the way across.
It won't. Well, it won't go to both sides anyway. Probably just have to do them both kind of.
They're doubles.
What?
That's because that's one face that's got a bunch of vertices and it doesn't know how to cut it.
What?
Like the top face.
Oh,
the top face is one face, but it's got a bunch of vertices, and so it doesn't really know how to do a cut across it like that.
That wasn't what I was trying to do, but I realized that is an issue.
I mean, like, it just means you have to do it to both sides, so it can curve.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, it would have gone across and done it to both sides if it did, but it doesn't. It can't. The way it works, it can't cut across that because it's not a corner.
Okay, what's the best way for me to go about curving this thing uniformly?
To the top view, press 7 on the num key.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, to go into like use this like well, go into like edit mode, I guess. And select the middle ones and use that proportional editing tool again. If it looks too pokey, you can add another like set of loop cuts or something.
Proportional editing connected, and then...
I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's connected or just enabled, because there's no other vertices that are like off to the side. Like everything's connected. If there were... Don't scale it, just move it along the axis.
Oh, let me get that in wireframe. Oh, very nice.
You also don't have the bottom, but that might be delayed. Are they?
Yeah, I got it. I just had to go into wireframe. It's not really curved too much, like that or something.
Thank you.
Look at more of my concept art here. Try to decide exactly how curved this should be.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
Oh, nothing. Everything's fine.
It's windy outside. It's going for sky.
Yeah, that happens. Well then. On to the difficult part. I think.
Yay!
I wonder if I should look at another picture here. Houdini. Someone just sneezed right there. Did you hear that? That was wild. Oh, they do have a little bit of a...
Ah, that one does. Not all of them do. This could be one of the ones that doesn't.
They all have a little bit of something. Unless you're like that, but that's weird.
I'm looking at one that doesn't have a little bit of something.
Yeah, I suppose. Are you a water bottle or are you a flask? Make up your mind.
I mean...
Oh, sorry, I'm not showing these. It's like, is this a water bottle or a flask? Make up your mind. Yeah.
It's a flask. Oh! They were quantum entangled.
Yes.
They got fused together.
That'll happen. Yeah, okay, so now I need to make that little top portion like so. And I'm going to put that up here. Zoom it in and stuff. We'll just make it a separate object. I should do this. How do I cursor to selected or cursor to whatever?
To what?
Anything.
Cursor to selected or what?
Any of those. What's the thing to bring up that menu?
Shift S.
Do what?
Shift S.
Oh, shift. Okay, we do that. It didn't move. Where is it? Why? I probably said selected to cursor or something. Cursor to select. There we go. Now we go add cylinder. Not really needing this. No. Yeah. You saw that too, huh?
Did you lower the amount? I didn't.
Did I what? Yeah.
Is it still 32 or did
No.
you lower it? I didn't.
No. It's like 14 or something. Why is this still considered the same cylinder?
What? Oh, because you added it in edit mode.
I see.
You can make it
I
so
could
that top
split
piece
it though, right?
taps perfectly to the top. Well, do you want it to go in and like have the lid opened or what?
I guess it does have to be opened.
Then you have to cut a hole in the top with the one on top. What? You have to cut a hole in the bottom one with the.
Although I'm not sure if it doesn't have to go all the way into it. It's just this top part has to be hollow. Probably.
You still have to. I mean, unless you want the top to be like an inch thick and not go actually into
Okay,
it.
so how do I cut a hole in it?
I mean, how do you want to do it?
I'll just cut a hole in it, whatever. Or I guess that means I have to have like an inside face.
Yeah, you can have very low poly interior too.
Okay.
You will make sure there are two different objects, and also make sure there's a bottom face at top cylinder.
Oops. Okay. Trying to remember how you.
Press P.
Yep.
And
Okay.
if you did, and once you separate it, make sure you fill in a face bottom to cut a hole.
Do what?
Well, that top cylinder doesn't have a bottom face, I think, unless you just put it in. I wasn't looking.
No, I took it out.
Well, you need to put it back in
Okay.
because for the sake of cutting a hole in it, there has to be something there for it to cut out. And then once there's a face there, select the flask main part
Right.
and go over to that little wrench thing on the right. It's the modifiers tab.
Which one?
And
Which
It's like a
which
blue
one
one.
is it?
they're called like the Boolean modifier.
Oh.
And then go to click intersect and change it to difference, and then select the object you want to cut off,
Okay.
which will probably be like cylinder 00 or something. And then apply, and it should work. Press the other cylinder and like press H to hide it or something to make
Uh-oh.
sure. Did it not?
It did, but it left a face in it.
Oh, then just delete it.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It won't. Yeah, it'll. Yeah, it'll do that, but you can just remove that.
Hmm.
You can if that top part is in the way, you can select it and press H to hide it.
Oops, what?
It's still there. It just isn't visible. And then you press Alt H to unhide it. Hide it.
To hide what?
If that top part is in the way, you select it and press H to hide it. It's a different object and it's kind of in the way right now.
Okay, press H to hide who?
Just select the whole object in object mode and press H to hide the top part. Just because it's in the way right now.
Huh.
I would just say, like, to just get it out of your way for like a few seconds.
Yeah. Should I
But it's
probably
like, if it's
delete
at this
this
point,
ring
it could
here
have been-
too?
Huh?
I should probably delete this little extra. Come on now. Because it
You
already
need to have
goes.
it. Like,
It already like goes down into it. So these would just be overlapping faces.
then you can use that one then. But you need to, I guess, give it.
Give it what?
You have to have it have like inside faces, sort of. So
Yeah.
you can look into it. It doesn't have to be. You could probably just make it a square
I was thinking of doing that.
or a cube. It's a rectangle.
Oh, yes. Better reduce the polygons in this cube. Ha 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 ha. That's a joke because it's a cube and you can't.
My dad's calling me.
Great. All right. Writing solo. Not a clue what I'm doing. Yeah, this doesn't even have to be that big. It's just got to be like a... Whatever. Hello. Oh.
What?
Have you returned?
Hang on. I'm slightly occupied.
Okay. There's nothing I can do to not scale the whole cube.
Yeah. And I'm back.
Oh boy.
It looks hideous.
I know. That's the point. Yeah, it's terrible, but that's okay. How do I now...
I should be
Oops,
muted.
it's not. No.
I should be editing.
Doing
My
what?
new. I should be editing all the code.
Jordan, no.
While you do my job, I should be doing your.
I don't... There's not stuff to code, which is why I'm doing this.
That's why I could code new stuff.
You're drunk.
I'll code it. I'll code Unity to be better. All that stuff you said you couldn't do.
You do that now. Call me back when you die of like literal like death by mathematics.
I did well.
Okay.
I passed. Okay. That's
So did I, and most of the state.
well. That's because we live in a day.
Yes.
Someone call it.
Excuse me. Okay, what the frick? How do I just take this whole cube and flip all of its... Can I just straight up say flip normals?
Yeah. I mean, there's still a top.
Yeah, but it'll be backwards anyway, so...
You could delete it.
You're right.
I mean, if you don't see the top, you can just delete the top. But yes, you can flip all of the normals.
So now we just take that. And it's probably one of those W modifier things.
You didn't flip them yet.
What?
Or if you didn't flip them yet. From what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I know.
Well, okay.
Hello, RZYM3K. There's no good way for me to pronounce that. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue. That's okay.
What were you asking about a second ago? Like a modifier?
I was not a modifier. I shouldn't have said that. Is it something you do with the W key? No.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Go into edit mode and press W. And it's flip facing third. Normals.
Oops, I keep doing that.
Also, select everything in edit mode before you.
Okay. Very nice. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, now we have to unhide that cylinder.
It's Alt H.
You heard me like push H and be like, why isn't it working? This one still has a bottom face that we do not need. Okay. Shit. I almost feel like I should have made this smaller to begin with. I can work with it.
Never too late to shrink it.
Well, with the hole.
You can shrink the hole too.
Yeah. Can I grab them both at the same time?
No, but you can snap the hole to the new top.
Okay.
So
it should probably start out like that big around. Because then it gets larger after that.
Technically, you could, if you made that top piece part of cap, if you like separated it and joined it to the cap. So
can't I just?
No, you can also snap them to it though.
Okay.
So when you're happy with how wide the cap is, select the other flask and go into edit mode, and then select the ring and then press the magnet and then go to snap.
Magnet and then vertex snap and then
just scale it on the z-axis inward. It should snap to.
Oops, is that?
Well, select.
Did that work? That worked.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's good. It's actually not exactly.
Go into press 7. I'm confused what happened.
How come I can see into it, but I can't from up here?
Like
I can see this tiny little...
Go into wireframe.
That's a good idea. So
from the top
7.
view.
What the... We could just take this cylinder and just scale it up a little bit. Oops. Great, scaling from nowhere land. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, try snapping it back to it, because there is a... Don't just... Select the flask and scale it to... Okay, turn magnet on. I meant turn the... Select the circle that is the flask, not the top.
Yes, I got it.
and try scaling it in from the top orthographic mode to see if it snaps right. Or if it still tries to snap like a little bit
It's
away.
not even doing anything.
Well, move your cursor to the thing. It snaps wherever you're like actually.
Well, it's
So you have to
still
move your
doing
actual cursor.
Yeah, it's still like not at it, which is really weird.
Then you should just make it really close. I guess.
Yeah.
Or you could delete this top part and just select the ring up on the flask and extrude up, so it is perfectly where it is.
It's so close that I can't imagine anything would cause a problem.
I mean, if anything, I just make it on the outside, not the inside.
Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking. I fixed it.
So you can't see the flask being a little too for that cap.
Okay, so now we go back to this thing. Now we're gonna make this look right. Oh great, we still have that glorious vertex snapping on. I need to see an opened flask. That's kind of what I thought. Wait, what the? So I'm like, what?
I don't know what you're doing.
The whole thing comes off like that?
Apparently. Or is ours could just be one where it does not do.
I think they all do that. That's fine. I'm like trying to figure out how to pronounce this. It's always fun. But hello, other guy. Pogman 76?
After scrolling down a bunch, I did find one flash where it did not do that.
Really? So how did it work?
Well, interestingly enough, it's a flask that is also an iHome.
A what?
An iHome.
Like a Roomba?
No, an iHome is like an
Oh.
iPod, but like for it's a speaker.
That's something else.
But it's also, I think, a functioning.
I'm sure it's also a functioning Roomba.
I mean, a Roomba is a
Yes.
vacuum. This is a
I
speaker.
know what I'm saying. I'm just being stupid. Roll with it.
iRobot and iHome are things.
Very different things. I mean, they both just make loud, obnoxious noises and break all the time.
Good.
Okay, so that's a terrible resolution, but it gets the point across pretty clearly. Yeah, so actually, that's how we're gonna make this thing. Which means we gotta do not this. oddly enough, we have to do the opposite.
What if there's just a big hole in the top and there's just a big cork in it?
Oh yeah, Jordan, why not? Because it would look stupid, that's why. Ha.
Right?
How do I do a split cut?
Control R is the loop cut. Or wait, is it called a split cut or a loop? I don't remember.
Whatever. You have no idea how much more proficient I feel with this, like, already. Like, I didn't think I would get to this level today, honestly. I realize, like, I'm still going, like, how do you do XYZ, but, like...
I've explained to you all the strats.
All the what?
Personal editing tool. Strat.
Yes.
Snapping. I didn't even know snapping existed.
No. Oops, I never saved this. Let's do that right now. I can hear they're getting ready for dinner upstairs. I want to finish this flask.
Look at this flask.
Okay. That's technically not accurate, but that's okay. Excellent. Psych. This turned out to actually need to be bigger again. Also, explain to me why it's not scaling about the center and instead it's scaling about some weird arbitrary pivot that's in the middle of the blender thing.
That's just where the origin point is. It's because you...
Please help.
It's because you added it to... It's in the center of the world or whatever you want to call it. It's because you added it to the
world
flask and the flask's origin. There.
How do I scale it about its own center?
Press Shift. This is the best hotkey in the world. Shift Control Alt.
Shift Control Alt what?
Shift Control Alt C.
That is the best hotkey I've ever
do
come
origin
across.
to geometry.
I might not forget that one just because it's so hilarious.
You could remap it to
Shift Control Alt C W, press the up arrow key and hold and scroll the mouse wheel upwards and press in.
You could remap it to something else if you want, but
While
good luck.
juggling.
I think it's not already taken.
No, that's too big. It's actually a very fine line. It's only got to be slightly larger.
Everything's fine. Everything's good.
Everything's fine. Nothing's on fire. Do I smell something in the indie? Do I smell Unity on fire? No. Leave me alone, Dad.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it's a separate object entirely. Oops.
You oops me.
Nothing. What? That's what I thought. Cursor to selected. How?
What?
How do I cursor to selected?
Shift S, whatever is select. What do you?
Hey, if you scale it up like this, it just looks like a Roblox guy.
Wow, look at that.
That's terrible. I'm so sorry.
At the last second, I'm gonna remove the flask and replace it with like a actual Roblox. It's like the same scale as flask.
You just like pour it into his head, like.
It's part of the marketing.
Yes. Oh yes. This
We'll
is
sell
why
it.
we're game developers, so we can just talk shit like this all day.
We'll sell it in our non-existent store.
Yes, in our Redbubble store. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Apparently Jordan's not in favor of that. That's okay. It's not a very reasonable idea to begin with. I still think we should sell some random game dev trash, though.
What are you? What is this?
I don't know. What is it? Pretends to have been somehow responsible for it. Are you just finding the dumbass one thing?
No.
That we did last stream. There were so many witnesses for that. It was wonderful. Oh no. John the Dweeb has left. He was our #1 fan.
Did you say fan or ham?
Ham? No, I said fan. I said ham as a question there. I was like, what? He was our #1 ham.
Don't say that. It's me.
That is
How
mean.
dare you? How
Why
could
would
you
you say
do
that?
such a...
How could you do that? Oops. Trash.
Maybe it should be like a trash can chute that leads to it.
That's not what I meant. That's not
What?
what I was talking about. I was like,
Talking about the...
I said, oops, trash. I was just talking. I had to go back one.
Oh.
That was all.
I know, you're trash. I know.
It was a joke, actually, Jordan. Meant to be understood as humor. Not
You
real
should-
life.
Joke.
I'm too great for petty... what? I forgot what I was talking about.
Jokes or something.
Wow.
Shit.
This is like an actual cap. Cappy is what I'm gonna call it.
What?
I was like commenting on my cap, and I decided to name it Cappy because no one's used that.
Well, most things in here look done.
What are you working on? Jordan. Oh, Jordan.
Why?
What are you working on?
Level? I'm actually making a...
A what?
actually made 3 different flasks in the amount of time it's taken this far.
What? No.
Oh. I'm kidding.
I was like, you couldn't have. That was the whole point of doing this. Was that...
Yeah, no.
It's not that you couldn't have made 3 flasks. It's that I'm working on something as opposed to nothing.
No, I'm working on the level.
The one that shall not be spoken of.
I don't know.
Cole,
Ah,
can I show you the greatest face ever drawn?
no, we're live streaming right now. That's funny. Close the door, please. Go watch our live stream. Yes, go on Twitch. Absolute. What? You don't have to have Twitch, it's a website.
Oh wow.
Go to Twitch and you type probably Cole and Jordan Studios. How can somebody just find us on Twitch? You can go to
What you just said?
twitch.tv/Cole and Jordan Studios.
You can also search us
All
in
one word.
search top.
For you viewers, dinner's gonna be ready really shortly. I'm like trying to finish this before then.
Sounds like we're gonna have to end the stream.
Well, yeah, at some point, Jordan. Let me actually take...
Will the flask be finished? Will Cole epically fail? Will the faces be flipped the wrong way?
Surely.
Find out next time on Pokemon Z.
Pokemon
Dragon
Z.
Ball.
Dragon Ball Pokemon. Good one.
Well, I should do comedy.
You really should. In fact, the fact that you're not doing it is probably somehow a crime against humanity.
Why are you making it go up when you won't see it from that angle?
Because it will open.
Huh? Oh, okay.
This whole piece right here goes...
What I got.
Comes right up. Oh, this is kind of a complex contraption here. Let us make a very small cube. So small that it will take up processing power and we'll forget about it. Just kidding. That was also another terrible joke brought to you by the Cole Bradley Corporation.
It's tiny.
Actually, that's an interesting dilemma.
One.
What?
What?
What? Why are you talking to me?
Because you made a sound and I said good one.
Oh, the...
Yeah. It was stellar.
Oh, that's great. I can't see it. Oh, I could probably use wireframe. Yes. Huh. That's actually almost right on center. Will Matt be saved at the last second? Will Cole be able to hotwire this random car? Find out. Sometime. It's way funnier now because it never happened. And we said it like knowing that it could be never too. Like, apologies for inside jokes. It's an old YouTube video of ours that we never finished. Like, a series that we never actually... Yeah. Hello, Mr. Teabag Man. That's his name. I'm not insulting him. Even if I was, it would be a terrible insult. A funny, terrible insult might do, but... I should probably have that as a separate object, and that can be really small. Like, super small. Like that. Whoa, that's dumb. Really odd way to do that. Close enough. Does it maybe need to go out a little further even? Okay. I'm glad I decided to do this today. It would have been an unproductive and rather boring day if I didn't decide to try to become a 3D artist today. And this gives me a lot of confidence too, like comparatively. Yeah, I didn't think I would get anything productive done. It seems I am doing at least acceptable. Okay, so we need like two objects that roll together. Like, yeah, it goes all the way around. Terrible resolution images, but I get the point. I didn't realize this top part also kind of like caps off in a different way that I didn't really mess with. Get it? Caps off. Because it's a cap. Jordan didn't respond to my dumb pun.
I didn't hear that. I didn't know that.
I was saying, I was like looking at the way this cap like tops off on the top, and I said, oh, I didn't really see the way that caps off. And then I stopped for a second and went, get it? Caps off. And then no one said anything, so I was like, because it's a cap. Oh yes, that's perfect.
Well, good for you.
I'm gonna just throw this back up on my other monitor. Excuse me. What did you just say? I think I wouldn't be mistaken in saying your phone just vibrated. Spooky man. Now it's a little better. Maybe I should bring this ring in more. Something like that. Actually, bring this ring down more, and then go. What? Stop it! Every time you push the wrong button in Blender, you're like, "What horrible thing just happened?" You know. Oh. In Blender, the y-axis isn't up. Isn't that great?
No, the z-axis. I think it's just because there's that graph, or that, well, it looks like a graph. It's like a grid. If you, like, I don't know, if you zoom out, but there's like a grid in the center of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at it from, the top of the graphic view, the way that like you would see it, then it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm. That's the idea, I suppose. Okay, that's actually somewhat better. It's not great, but it's okay. This is a really obnoxious shape for me. What are you laughing at?
I took a break to look at,
And
I saw a picture. I don't know if like this is the joke or not, but it's like sort of a machine with a bunch of like pennies and dimes and nickels falling out, and the tweet is, "Bitcoins, get your bitcoins here," because the price has been dropping a lot lately. That's why
nothing in comparison to what it was. Of course it's going to level out because there was a big overhyping. But, like, because of that happening, it will always sustain a higher price. That happened back when it jumped to, like, 200 or whatever from, like, 10. It did the same exact thing.
The human emotion is a big factor, and that's why charting is a real, like, do you know what charting is? It's where you look at a chart of the price of something, and you can determine what it's most likely to do next based on that. Because the reason it works is because humans are a factor, and human emotion is sort of predictable. And so, if the price can't bounce back up to X amount after a certain amount of time, people are going to start. People who are
worrying, and then the price
people who have helped
will drop at that point.
Worry and sell, and then it'll just sort of continue. If you can't find resistance, or if you can't like become stable, and then find support. That's what I was. If you can't find support and keeps dropping, then it'll just.
That makes a lot of sense. When you think about it, it's something I've thought about before. I didn't know there was a magic vocabulary word for it.
Yeah, I mean, it for a while it looked like it was at support at 10,000, but it's 8,000 something right now.
Oh wait, Bitcoin's at 8,000 right now?
Like 8,000 something hundred. It's not exactly 8,000. It's like probably close.
You just cut out. Probably closer to.
Probably closer to 9,000, 8,000. It kept bouncing, like going below 10,000 and then going back up, and then.
Yeah.
I'm like a few weeks ago. It was it bounced back up to 15,000. There, or maybe it was. It fell back down
to below 10,000 a punch.
I was right in saying that this is definitely the hard part. Oh my. Not sure how to make this shape without being a complete idiot. What? Why? Ah, I did that thing again where I added a shape, like, as I was... Damn it. As I was, like, still in edit mode. It's okay, I remember how to split things now. Everything about what Blender does, like with its hotkeys and stuff, every single thing is the non-traditional, like, key. You know what I mean? Like, redo is Control-Shift-Z instead of Control-Z. And, like, the only thing, like, there's some obvious things that are the same. Like, Control-S should always be Control-S. Anyone that would change that should be excommunicated from the planet. But, like... Yeah, they do a lot of non-traditional things.
I like it the way they change
that's what you've been using for years. Damn it, this is gonna have to be higher. That's okay though. Making all these things meet is going to be really frustrating. I think I'm going to go eat, because this is, like, kind of a point that I need to, like, stop and think about what I'm doing, and I don't want to, I'm, like, trying to hurry up and eat, so I'm going to come back to it. We've already been live streaming a pretty long time, almost 4 hours. That's pretty solid. So... Yeah.
That's like 2 seconds in terms of...
In terms of what? Jordan is dead.
What? What?
Oh, well, anyway. Well, point is, yeah. I think we're done
Jordan
for today.
on Twitter.
What?
Please follow Jordan Brown on Twitter and not...
Don't
Maybe
listen to anything he says ever. Just
maybe if you want.
play our game in the description below, or follow us on Twitter, also in the description below. Or follow us on Twitch. Would be awesome.
Oh, that's you.
We're trying to get more followers, because we might do the whole affiliate thing if we can keep up.
I think the goal of any Twitch...
I know what you said, but you cut out halfway through again. I don't know why this keeps happening. I figured I lowered the bitrate quite a bit. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm doing the Markiplier outro. That's what it was. I knew I was doing an outro from something specific. And anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Bye.